Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. Welcome back. Ladies 197 probation. Of course, I'm waiting on the other crew. This is the wild panel tonight, so I'm waiting on the rest of the crew. While they coming in, uh, hey, keeping up with you. How are you? How you been doing? I'm waiting on the rest of the panel. I'm trying to make sure all windows are closed. All the sloppy joes gone. Uh, oh, You can talk, no? Hey, hippy dippy, how you Hey, hello, so I'm waiting for the rest of the panel. Scrape them up. time. Toes off, thought it was a different time. Oh, okay. Hey, took down the label. Yeah, good. I just the wind was blowing in. We had a tornado watch till 2 a.m. So I was kind of setting stuff up for that just in case. But the link is there. Y'all need to link it in. Okay, there it is. I put it there again. Hey, NYW.
Hey, Miss B Town, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. You was on mute.
Okay. Yeah, you sound like you're really far away. That's why I thought maybe I should
Okay.
sign back out.
Wait a minute. It's probably on my end.
Hold on.
Oh, that's not hurting nobody.
Was I killing y'all ears just then? Hello? Is that better, NYW?
Yes, can you a little?
Okay, good,
Okay.
good. That's a little bit better. Okay. How's that?
It honestly the background sounds like somebody's scraping a microphone.
That was me getting, okay, I knew when that was me pulling my headphones up. Can you still hear it now?
Hello?
Hello, do you hear it now? Hello?
There's can
NYW.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Put a two in the chat if y'all can hear both of us.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think we're clear.
Okay, let's hear that. All right. Decom says she have to sign into her computer. So she once she get logged in, she'll come on up.
Okay.
Come on, Nadia. Give them a give them a it's 8:18. We'll give them about 3 more minutes. How was your day, honey?
Very long. Very long day.
Well, we won't keep you long tonight. I promise you.
Thank you.
No, I don't. I don't like the long extended interviews. Short and brief and to the point. You can't Shay good. Shay said that she can hear us both. Well, I want to welcome everyone that came by. This is a wild panel, and we're going to be talking about autism because this is April and with Autism Awareness Month. But instead of just coming from what's written in a textbook that someone else wrote, I think it's something better that when you come from somebody that's actually living and having to deal with it themselves. So just so happen I have my sister here, NYW, who has her son that is autistic. So she'll be sharing her life story with it as far and when did she was able to start seeing signs that he maybe was developing too fast or too slow or things like that. Okay, I will slowly let her tell her story so we won't have to drag it out so long with a bunch of questions. And then we'll save for a few questions at the end. And if we have one or two call-ins, if it doesn't go too long, I'll put up a number and if we can do one or two call-ins. So NYW, I'm giving you the floor. Let you start. And
Well,
I think a good spot to start is where did you see signs of development maybe different from other
well,
children?
when I had my son, it pretty much was normal. He was born premature, so
Mm-hmm.
I was a little more aware of his development because he was underweight, and
Oh,
I was watching him. So he was born on exact 8 months. Okay, so he's 1 month early, and for some people, he's a preemie. He was a preemie. So
right.
fast forward, my son is like 6 months old. Everything seems normal. You know, he seems like he's going through the normal development. He just was constantly underweight, you know, under the, uh, forgive me, you guys, I'm a little tired, but there's a scale that they use, like, and he was on the lower end of the scale, you know, versus my
Mhm.
other son who was born almost 10 pounds, you know, and always above the scale of growth and development. Okay.
Right,
But
right.
all right. So my son started crawling and sitting up before 6 months. And he was actually walking at 9 months and he was talking at about 12 months. So it
Mhm.
wasn't that he was delayed. No, when I say talking, he was
Hey,
talking.
let me just turn.
Hey, Nadia.
Okay, hey Nadia, thanks for joining
Sorry,
us.
it's taking a while. I had to. I got my dad's remains today.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, honey.
sorry to
So you
hear
know how
that,
you
but
don't
glad.
really want to like deal with it, and I was like in my dining room and just trying to figure out some stuff. So
Okay,
yeah,
but I'm glad you got him though.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, continue, Wanda.
So everything was accelerated with my son. It wasn't
Right.
as if he was delayed. The only thing that was an issue was his weight and his size. But so to me, seeing that my other son was fast tracker, we'll use that word. He was
Right.
walking at 9 months, 8, 9 months. So it wasn't
Right.
nothing new to me. But what scared me, I remember, you know, he was sitting on my lap. And I don't know about anybody else. I can't speak for anybody else, but he started repeating the words I repeat. So every morning, because he's such a cutie, and he just like, I call him my cherry chocolate.
Mhm.
I wake up and I'd be up at like 5 in the morning and he'd be up with me. And I don't know if that's a sign of autism, but I'm just telling you my story. He would be
Right.
up and he'd get up every single morning with me, like at the same time, you guys. Like his body knew I was moving. He was up and he would smile and I would say, "Good morning, Ceci." you know. And
Oh.
one morning he repeated it. Okay. And I was like, okay, I look, it's just like, remember, he's not a year, he's up on a year. Okay. So I was just like,
Wow.
okay,
I would have
that's
turned
a
around like,
fluke.
wait, what?
Right.
Aw.
So I was like, okay. So I also at that time, because my oldest son is grown now, but I told my son, and he'd be like, Mom, that didn't happen. Like when he first started smiling, I'd be like, he's already smiling. Mom, that's just gas. I said, okay, bet. I'm about to videotape this. And I would go and I was like, hey Jay. And he would just smile. And my son would be like, okay, fine. You know, he walk off. It was just like a running joke. So I was like, okay, I need proof. Okay. You know, he just talked back to me. So
Goodness.
he was one day, I was like, I got to figure out. And I said, you know, Jay is talking. He's like, no, you know. I was like, okay, fine. You know, and then I said a sentence. I actually saved it on the phone. Okay. And I said, who is mommy's baby? And he was like, Jeremiah is mommy's baby. And my son almost fell out. I fell out when he repeated.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay. But you guys it still was not the sign, because I was just like, okay, this boy is advanced as hell. It's scary, you know. So we had moved on, and he was a normal 18-month-old. He was a normal 2-year-old. You know, everything seemed okay within the spectrum of what should be happening in development. But then about 3, that's when a light switch happened for me, you know. And this is when he started to have, you know, outbursts. And it wasn't your normal, you know, the terrible twos or anything like that. It was like sound reactions. It was, I mean, he couldn't be anything loud, but, you know, I also kept saying it. It wasn't as if I was in denial, you guys. I was like, well, you know, who the hell likes fireworks? You know what I mean? Or it'd be a dog, or, you know, someone would talk loud, or the TV would be too loud, or, you know, and it was little clues. But see, let me tell you something. The difference between my son and maybe someone who's just autistic, I know this is more what I noticed. He had the energy of the Energizer battery time 1,000, the bunny. Okay. And I couldn't figure out, I mean, we could not keep up with him. He was jumping off the staircases, you know, running down the street. He already had a full-blown conversation. And I'd be like, Jay, you cannot do that. And he'd be like, trust me, Mom, I know what I'm doing. This is what I'm talking about. So you're talking to a 3-year-old who has, you know, the vocabulary of a 7 and 8-year-old. Does that make sense to you guys? So you're just everybody looking, and I'm like, trust me. You need to trust me. You need to trust me, Mom. You know,
Top needs the link.
Wow. Yeah. So, but it was still off. So I was like, okay, I can't. And, you know, the childcare provider, because he had been in childcare since like 6 weeks of age at that point. So that was all he knew. And I remember, you know, they go through the infant, you know, you guys been through like a real organized childcare. You got the infant room, you got the toddler, you know, you got the certain ages until they get to preschool. And I remember the woman coming to me, because I had been so busy and I work like 50 plus hours a week. So he spent more time in childcare than at home. So look, I'll just tell you my routine, you guys, so you understand why I didn't have the time to be like, let's say, the conventional mom, you know, because that's how many hours I had.
One quick second. Decop's asking for the link.
Yeah, she just popped up backstage. There she is.
50 plus hours a week. So we spend more time in childcare.
Lord have mercy. I don't know who be the worst, me or her. Where's your other one, little lady? A little bit behind her. The dog.
Hey, Shay. Hey, keep up with William and Police 197. Hey,
Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
Hold
turn.
on, that's me. That's me. That's me.
Yeah.
That's
Hello,
me.
everybody. I haven't had a chance to look at the
Okay.
chat because I closed down the YouTube because I thought it was me giving an echo. So I'm in
No.
StreamYard, but I haven't had a chance to respond to anybody. Okay, but I am saying hello.
All right, now you can finish. Wait a minute, I hear somebody TV.
That's not me.
All right, I think it might
That's
be your
me.
TV, Deca.
Yeah. I turned it down.
Now you okay?
Okay.
What the dogs put up?
They always put up. You just can hear.
Okay, and why?
All righty. So, like I said, I was working 6:56. So you understand, I had 12+ hour days. So just to make you
Right.
understand, I would get up around 4:45. I would be out the house, but I had to get Jeremiah ready for childcare, and it opened up at like 5:50. You get where I'm going. I dropped him off. I
Yeah.
did my day and pick him up at 5:50 again in the afternoon. That's how long my day was, if it wasn't extended. So that's a 12
Right.
plus hour type thing. So the primary day-to-day observation was with the child care provider. And then she would relay things to me. And at that time, I was like, okay, whatever, because sometimes people project on what they think you should do with your child. So you got to kind of
Right.
decipher, hey, okay, got it, but this is what I want to do. This is my family. But I didn't pretty much be like, kick rocks. I was like, okay, there was some problems that would come up with him in the childcare. And she was like, look, I really need to talk to you. And I'm truncating this because this was over a period of time. Okay. And, he can't stay still. He's doing certain things. He is fixated on certain things. He would, like I tell you, act out. And by the time I got him, he would be like frustrated, still a bundle of energy, but I would have him on the, decompression time if I can get him some dinner, go to sleep, and then everything started all over until like my free days pretty much was the weekend. Okay.
Right.
And then I'm trying to be like a full-time mom in the weekend. So you got to realize I was tired as well. By the time the weekend came, you're like, woo. So moving on. So when I finally kind of just like, I got time for you right now, she was like, look, this is going on with your son. I'm not a doctor, but I think you need to recognize this because he really is mirroring some of the things my child is going through. And, I was like, you know what? I do notice certain outbursts and certain way he reacts to things. And she was really surprised when I said I gave her the time that I would actually talk to her, because most parents do say kick rock. So I said, okay, let me go and make an appointment. So I went to a child behaviorist, and I went and told her what was going on, and we went through certain things that I was going through. They did certain tests with him, and what they found out was he was ADHD. Okay. So I was like, okay, because remember, I don't know everything yet. Okay. So I was like, right. No, I'm talking to myself. Right. Okay. It's ADHD, but he was still too young. Remember, he's 3. Going on 4, he was still too young to be on drugs. And what people don't realize, the actual medicine that they give children that are autistic is actually a controlled substance. You just don't go and say, I need this. So, but because of their growth, you can only give them but so much at a certain age. So at that time, which was the best option for us, because this boy was all over the place, was to give him Ritalin. So he was in the 4-ish age because I hadn't made a decision yet. And it was funny because I am like in sort of like an HMO system. So to get referral to the actual psychiatrist who prescribes the medication, you see where I'm going with this? There's a difference. It was like almost a 3-4 month wait. So it was more on a summertime break, but he wasn't in school yet. So when I finally got to the doctor, we discussed it. That was pretty much the option. People don't realize Ritalin is probably as well researched. I know people have their opinions about this medicine, but out of all the medicine that is used for ADHD, that one has been around the longest, as in if you want to think about a trial, okay? But the original things, the doses they were given to children back in the day, and this is what scares a lot of parents, it was like when people first started taking the birth control pill. And when the first time birth control pill was given out, they were given like these massive doses, even though you would have thought they did trials. You get where I'm going? So people were ended up being sterile for 5-6 years, sterile, period, and or. So fast forward to 2013, 14, I started Jeremiah on Ritalin, and they were on quick release short-term doses. That's what they call it. It's not time release. So by the time he was, I'm trying to remember, you guys. I believe by the time he went into preschool / kindergarten, he had a dose at around 7:30 a.m. that I administered at home. And then by 12, that's how quickly that dose wore off. It's very small amounts, but it was enough for him at that age. I gave the school nurse permission to give him the second dose to make it through, because we were actually in the state of Louisiana, and they already want children at the age of 3 or 4 to already read and write, like as if they were in kindergarten. And that's a whole nother story in itself, you guys, moving on. So he needed to concentrate. So when he got the dosage, it seemed like he kind of settled down. But then with that being given to him, a secondary condition really revealed itself, you guys, because, if he wasn't, how could I say this? He's very high functioning. And do you guys understand what high functioning means? If anybody knows, we can save that question for later. But I'm just going to continue on. He's very high functioning, but there's still things that I noticed that just seem off as we were moving along. Now that he was not jumping off the couches, off the roof, you understand what I mean? Running down the street with half his clothes on, things like that. Like he was very textile. And being textile, he needed certain things, like even to this day, he needs things in his hand. It's like his hand is an independent entity, okay? But in his mind, it's calming him. And what I learned about it is when I was thinking that, I'll give you a perfect example. D-Cop said something to me in the chat. Jeremiah was a room away. You're thinking Jeremiah's watching TV. My TV's going. I'm listening to the chat on the TV, and Jeremiah answered D-Cop, but you think he's engaged, highly engaged in a TV show that's going on. That's how aware he is. But when you look at Jeremiah, it looked like he's zoning off into the TV, and he's not. And I was like, what is that? What is that? What is going on? And but remember, he was very advanced on how he spoke as well. So, you got this little body telling you, no, I don't believe so. This is not going on. And he had defiance. We found out with the ADHD, he had defiance. It's a defiance or disorder they have. Now, I'm a little skeptical about that diagnosis, but that's a whole nother issue too. Okay.
Right.
So he would literally be in the house, and like I said, he was a textile child. He would be literally like digging holes into the wall and don't know why. It was like almost a OCD type thing going on, because at any other time, but he would at 3 years old would say to me, Mommy, I don't want to go to school because I know these children don't like me. Who says this at 3 years old? And I was like, he knew, you guys, because unfortunately, children, we think about our childhood, and as we think, children can be mean, and he called it out, but he already was more advanced than them. They cannot relate to him. Okay.
Right. Mhm.
you know, and then he called out how children would treat him, but it would cause anxiety and sort of like a panic as well with him. And then he would like stem off and he couldn't function because he couldn't relay why he could not have, he wanted friends, but he couldn't make friends. But the children did not understand him. But then he would have certain quirks and tics that the little children didn't understand.
Right.
And that is when the ADHD was calmed down. The other part of Jeremiah would come out because without the medication for the ADHD, it is like a ball fire. Like, you know, he is sitting there
Wow.
tearing up pieces of paper. Like I gotta hide stuff like pieces of paper. I'll have trails of, it'll look like confetti by the time he's done, a whole reel of paper, and just be sitting there,
Right.
just, you know, staring off into space. But when you talk to him, he'll respond like, you know, what is, you know, the square root of 64, and answer it. But here's the thing about Jeremiah, he can't tell you how much he weighs and how tall he is. Even though he'll look, do you see where I'm going? He's like highly
Right.
functional, but there's something he don't get. So I'm just
Like
telling you my
something,
experience. He can't
something like
comprehend
too
height and
easy.
weight.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
You
Okay.
get it. So literally, I can go and call Jeremiah right now. Jeremiah is 4 feet 7 inches, 55 inches, and weighs 69 pounds. And if I say, Jeremiah, how tall are you? He'll say he's 6'4", and he weighs 250 pounds. And I thought maybe he was joking with me. I tried it several times. That's the example.
He's pretty tall.
Right.
He's not, but he's, oh, I mean, I guess, yeah, he's 4'7", and
Yeah, I'm only 5
yeah.
feet. Jeez.
Oh, well, he catching up with you.
Oh my God.
I figured that's what she was comparing it to her. All
Right.
right.
Oh my God.
I was figuring.
Good God.
So I
Good
guess
Lord
in his
have mercy.
mind,
Oh,
but
no.
but that's funny, Nadia. I'm sorry, but he can't comprehend certain things, but he's advanced at the same time, right? You won't catch it at first, you know, like, okay,
Okay.
here's another example of Jeremiah like structure. And I've told you this before. So if you go into school and they say, this is the rule, all the rules, Jeremiah, and this is what you have to follow. Okay. This is what has gotten him in a lot of mess a lot of time because he feels like other people's not following the rule. Okay. So if you stand on a white line when we're supposed to stand on the green line, he'll freak the hell out. Like
Oh, he's
flip
very
out.
structured.
Yes.
Wow.
Because they're not following the prescribed rules. And or I'll give you this is a better one. You know, Marvel comic versus DC comics. So let's just say, well, us, we're like, alrighty then. But let's just say Hawkeye from Marvel Comics. Okay. He uses his bow and arrow, and each, you know, arrow has some special feature. And that's his specialty. And Jeremiah's interested in him. But then a kid, and he knows every single detail of Hawkeye. However, if some kid says, Hawkeye, no, you're wrong. Hawkeye, a child will say something that he don't know, and children will be children. It says, yeah, that's right. No, Hawkeye, you know, he got, you know, the flaming arrow, but Jeremiah, no, he don't have the flaming arrow. He'll flip out. You don't understand.
Right.
You can't have those type of conversations. And then they got into a fight, you know, because he doesn't, he's childlike, but he's not childlike, you know, and then he will stay on that subject for about the next 6 hours. That's when I was like, why are we still talking about, like I said, when I cook and I say I'm making dessert, I'm making apple pie, I'm making steak with onions and peppers, it better have onions and peppers because you did not follow the prescribed program. That's what it sounds funny, but it's serious too.
Oh God, I may have a
but that's how he rolls. So it's funny because the only thing that will override something I said is Oreos. That's why I was like, take up, so so
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like, that's how I mess with Oreos and chocolate at the same time. So,
Oh, God.
but then that would seem normal. But children don't understand where he's coming from. So he's been called weird. He's been called all kinds of stuff. But then when he gets around adults, it's perfectly fine because we'd be like, as adults, hey, he's a little quirky, but I like him. But children,
Right.
no. They are the worst, you guys. I'm serious. So he cannot relate to children. He can relate to adults, but it's those little things. So he's high functioning. He's a textile. He's noise sensitive. He needs to have he has this fascination with covers. So I have on any given day, he has about 5-6 covers pulled out the closet. I've given up, you guys. I just pick them up, wash them again when I feel like they're ready, and he'll just pick a cover and switch a cover and wrap himself in a cocoon type state, and he'll just function like that. But once again, as a parent, you understand what's going on when you get the diagnosis and where they feel like he is on a spectrum. But just having them, he's like a triple threat to me because not in a bad way, but he has ADHD and he autistic and he got anxiety because we found that out later.
Right.
So,
and he's now how old?
Oh, he's 11. And the thing is, it's funny because his voice finally caught up with his mentality, his age. And now he's 11 and he can relate. He still can't relate to children in a way because he tries so hard. It breaks my heart. I almost want to cry. And he wants to have friends, but children, kids don't still understand at this age. And junior high is coming up or middle school, and he don't still know how to relate to his own peers. And we've got in occupational therapy and counselors, and I always take him to counseling so he can learn because I can't do it all behavior. So he has counselors for behaviors at school, how he can approach situations when he's flipping out, I would say, if you guys are familiar with Miss TR says stemming, and he cannot comprehend why in the science class, why they killed the worms. You see where I'm going with that? You killed the worm and now all hell's broke loose,
Right. The whole world just crumbled. Okay. So to a certain degree, he's on an adult level now with certain things.
To agree, yes and no. Like I just tell you, he's high functioning, but he can't tell you his height and weight, even though we'll put him on a scale right now and tell him how tall he is. Do you see where I'm going? Which I just recently discovered this stuff on that aspect. It's always something new because you got to understand, you guys, there is no blipping book for each individual child, and the level of autism will be different for each individual. There is severe cases, you guys, non-function, don't walk, don't talk, some still in diapers. And then there's some that, at first glance, you think that everything is, regular, and it's not. I won't say normal because nobody dang normal. Okay. But
we all got a little time.
Everybody got a little something going on, whether they know it or not. But what people fail to understand, even though autism has been around, they really are not facilitated yet. They're not, and it's funny because I didn't do nothing crazy. I didn't do drugs. I didn't do alcohol. I didn't do nothing. You get what I'm saying? Versus my oldest son he's perfectly fine. And then the second son, people always want to put that stigmatism that the parent did something, and it's not like that. Because like I said, for the longest time, other than the advance, he seemed really super advanced, and he still is, or super advanced. It was, he couldn't, there's just certain things he could not do. Like for instance, he's at grade level with a lot of help, but then he's really advanced with reading level. We're almost on the 9th grade reading level. He's in 5th grade. He takes to reading and science like, What is your specialty? Do you understand where I'm going, you guys? What would you say you were really advanced at? But he's excelled past his peers, but he has difficulty with certain things and he needs his help. I don't know if I'm explaining the whole autism thing because there's so much what I had to do for Jeremiah when I had to get his IEPs and when I had to get his daily behavioral plan, and how I had to fight with the school district because they didn't know what they were doing and they wanted to appease me by copying and pasting someone else's IEP onto Jeremiah as if it was, a puzzle piece. Oh, well, everybody, you're autistic. This is for you. But then within this school district, they don't, the only thing they have, and he just introduced this year, so I'm not going to skip too much. And this is why I really had to fight for Jeremiah to have, help during school. The only classes they have for autistic children are for the severe autistic children. And what someone told me when they put, the high functioning with them, they all bounce on each other. And then the other children, even though they may be high functioning, start reverting backwards. So we're talking about children that need to be restrained high, autistic. They're just not in that same level of autism. So what the school district finally did was produce something, it's called the CASTLE system, where they actually guide the children, especially when, and now it's going through like all grades from kindergarten up, and there's different levels of it where, they're, guided. If they feel like they're not functioning amongst their peers, they still will be in the same classes. They won't be taken out, or they will be taken out when he still have his episodes, because I didn't really go into detail, you guys, what some of those episodes are. And with he, they feel like he's not ready to go back in, I call it general population, they will keep him in a CASTLE program, but it's not in special education like people thinking, because he is at grade level, a lot of hard work, but he, there's just some things he can't function under, and then all his teachers are aware, and it's like, it's a separate counsel. It's like counselors for them that are looking for the children this program is just for autistic children, high functioning, because they will get lost up in the system. And then another thing, by the time he got to kindergarten, and I'll put this, my son kept getting in school suspension, and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on, because he wasn't a bad child, you know what I mean? But the school didn't know how to handle him. So I think over the years they figured out how to work with high functioning autistic child on the road to get him into middle school, because they, at one point, my son was in the second grade, about to go to a continuation school. You can't handle a second grader. And, and that is when that's honestly, really, you guys, when I really had to go past the ADHD and find out what was going on with my son, because he just couldn't, when I'm talking to you guys, it's a progression of things that happen, not just all at once. So we're in kindergarten now and first grade, and he just not at grade level. I'll give you a funny thing that happened. He had to go to summer school, I believe, in the first grade, and we're like taking him in summer school, and it's not even in the same campus. So, I'm going to work and trying to get him summer school. And then I get a call from the teacher, and they're like, your son locked himself in the bathroom. And I was like, are you serious? What's going on? He locked himself in the bathroom, and they had to go and call the police department or the fire department to get him out, because my son didn't want to be bothered with nobody. He locked himself in the bathroom. So, we get out, and that same day we had a teacher's conference and to see the progress report, where he going. He says, I don't understand why your son's in here. He instantly, he scored it into the 90s. I just don't understand it. He apparently don't need to be in here. And I was like, well, all during the school year, because I'm sitting there trying to work on my son, and he just not, they saying he can't test. Like, he doesn't have the mental capacity to do this. He was all, well, nope. And I said, well, Jeremiah, what happened? He said, well, I already knew how to read. I just was, hiding it. I said, hiding it for what? He's like, I just, I thought we could just go to summer school. I said, what? He knew how to read, you guys. I'm telling you.
Oh,
And but he was
but hide.
hiding it, but he wanted to surprise me, and he was just doing shenanigans at the school, locking himself in the bathroom, not listening to the teacher. And then when he would test out, he scored like there was no improvement because he had scored that high. But we were just going through the motions to have him in school because he was testing horribly during the state testing and all that stuff. So he told me he already knew how to read, and he was just he wanted to surprise me. He was hiding it, and then we wasted half a summer taking him to summer school, and he already knew how to read. So that got blown out the water by the time we got to the second grade. So it's little things like that, but he just felt like he didn't need to tell me. And like I said, he'll know what the conversation is, but he got the TV blaring, jumping around the room, everything's going on, and I'm having a conversation, and he'll comment from the next room and know exactly what you said. So people did not understand that he was actually learning, but they couldn't handle him. And then when he would have his episodes by second grade, like I said, 7, 8, they almost got him in a continuation school, and he could not help himself repeating certain behaviors. It was beyond ADHD. You get where I'm going? And, we had to do some research, and, my sister is a special education teacher, and she was telling me, you're going to have to see if you can get him in the special education program and get him an IEP and then we need to get a diagnosis. And that is when all this happened for the official diagnosis, because I knew something was wrong. It just wasn't right. I cannot explain you guys why he just couldn't function, because he already was medicated for ADHD. And that's why I said it kind of like the ADHD masked his autism on top of that. So, I mean, you guys, I'm kind of tired. I want to talk more, but this story is so detailed. I didn't expect to go like that much in detail, but anybody got any questions, I could give you some answers,
Right. Okay, we'll just say, is there any questions right quick from the audience? Hello, Blake. Thanks for coming. Anybody got a question? You have any questions? The world will let you email your questions, man. You be cutting up. No, seriously, doesn't look like any. Well, she's here. You want to share your email in case anybody has any questions or maybe concerned about their own child?
If anybody has any questions, I mean, I can pretty much tell you the process. The process doesn't change much, except for there's certain things different districts do. If you feel like your son or someone who's been diagnosed with ADHD, I mean, not ADHD, but that's one too, that can fall into special education program. Does not mean, and I hate to put it like that, but people use this term on the short bus. They just get more assistance and accommodations for them. My son got about every accommodation known to man, and they honestly hate to see me coming. Because if you want to put my son in a continuation school at the age of 7 and 8 to have him go to juvie straight to jail, there's going to be a problem, and that's going to be over my dead body. So
right. I totally understand.
That's how they really handle it, you guys. There's not too many places in the state. I can't speak for all states, but they really aren't ready for the influx of all these children with autism. They're not. Right. It's a phenomenon going on. It's something wrong. And if I'm sorry, Miss Beaton.
And probably being from an ethnic background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, ma'am. Because when when I first started this process, they were talking to me like, I lost a frontal lobe. And I was like, oh, got mama jokes. Okay. So I did my research. And like I said, I also have reference with my own sister who is in special education and does this,
Right.
works with people with the
Yes, it
IEP.
is.
She helped me. And then my other sister, who's a clinical social worker, meaning she gives therapy, but she works with adults. She helped me and got me with one of her friends who works with children, the behaviorist therapist. And then we got this plan together. And basically, I hate to use dumb Wi-Fi lie, they got popped big time.
It's dumb, dumb. I'm trying, Miss TR. I'm trying.
She on here
I'm
now.
trying.
Hey, Shay have a
Was that the
question.
crazy?
Hey, Shay.
Hey,
Okay, Shay.
ladies.
Wait, baby.
Hey, Miss TR.
Hey, sweetie, how you feeling?
I'm feeling horrible, really horrible, but I'm tuned in. My
Okay.
thing with
Wait,
my
hold,
issue.
You go.
hold on one second.
Okay.
One second. Okay.
Okay, are we going to answer the
Okay,
question?
Shay said, do you
More or
think
less,
it's that he eat that triggers it?
You know, over time, Shay, I think it's a combination of what we're eating and the shots that they're giving us too young and too fast. Because to be honest,
Okay.
I didn't start taking shots. You know, it really wasn't a requirement for a long time to take shots to go to school for our age
Right.
group. You know, so when
Right.
these autistic children started to come out, they started pushing that in the late 80s and 90s about mandatory shots.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was going to be a normal amount of children that was going to be autistic. Then this started really coming down the pipe after these mandatory shots. So, you know, after a certain amount of weeks, the children got to have a certain amount of shots, and they're still getting shots up to like 18 months or so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like the first initial bam, 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 too much, too quick shots. That's what I call them.
They are. They start giving it to them early. Early.
And
They really
to
did.
just
What,
let
like,
you know, I'm sorry, Miss B-Town.
Go ahead.
Just to let you know, for the child care provided with me for my work requirement, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know about anybody else, but you're not getting any military child care, and you're not getting in the military without shots, unless you are deathly allergic. And if you are allergic like that, you're not getting in the military.
And that's a good thing. I mean, military, y'all go everywhere. I mean, it's so diverse. I mean, come on now. We all know, hey.
Yeah, look, I'm not all for shots, but
There
if
you go.
I'm military, I want every shot they have because you go some everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, they be getting us.
Twice.
But
I'll deal with the nipple on my forehead later on. Or the small peen on my back or something like that later on.
She said a nipple on her forehead.
And
Oh,
you know, it's funny, you guys. Could it have been the shots I had? You know where I'm going with this? Because my
Maybe.
oldest son, he was born in the 90s. He had not issue. So could it have been a combination of my shots and then his shots, my youngest son? Because I had every shot. When I say I had them all, I've had them all now. 20 years, you guys.
Wow.
I would like to explain my experience before my granddaughter comes back in the house.
Okay. Go ahead.
My baby, he was born fine, a good weight, everything. He was up to date with the books, but he didn't start showing something until he was 3 years old. And I was he started stemming. And I was like, something just isn't right. Something was off. But my granddaughter was like, there's nothing wrong with him. She's going off on me. I'm always thinking the worst. So it took a long time for him to get evaluated. We're talking about up to a year ago. And he's 7.
Wow.
And
That's crazy.
yeah, and then he went to one school, and even now I tell her he doesn't need to be in a regular school. He needs to be taken out of
Right.
there because you know what they're saying? Because he's considered high functioning.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear Nehemiah when he gets on. No one will know that he was autistic. How unless you're with him and you see certain little quirky things and how he gets
Right.
upset with things, he starts stemming. You know, sometimes
Right.
he'll talk about something that happened a month ago as if it was today. Stuff like that. But what they do is pull Nehemiah out of the class maybe once or twice a day for some stuff on the sideline.
Huh?
Oh, I'm getting feedback. Okay, it's confusing me a little bit. Yeah, they'll pull him out. And I'm telling my granddaughter, he does not need to be in a he's always getting in trouble. He's always with the security guard. He says the security guard is his friend. That's messed up. That is mentally
Wow.
messed up. And what I think it is that he stems. And if they cannot deal with the fact of him stemming in the room, it must be a distraction. But if he was with kids that were like him in a school where people were specially trained to handle kids like this, I think he would excel better, much better. But yeah, he's in trouble all the time. My daughter yells at him. He'll get a spanking for acting out in school. And I'm telling him, why are you doing this? He doesn't have really behavior issues. They're not understanding what is going on. Because when he stems, I say they must be stopping him from stemming. Because when he stops stemming, when you try to, because he doesn't hear, he becomes aggressive. And he locks into this stemming, and he has to have something in his hand.
Wow.
And he shakes it. And the more excited he gets, the faster it like he has this plastic hanger that he has between his thumb and the forefinger, and he shakes it nonstop. And sometimes he'll get up and he'll go back and forth, walk back and forth in the living room, shaking that hanger, or he'll go up and down the stairs, running back and forth, back and forth. Yes, it drives us crazy. But I tell my granddaughter, look, you got to do something with it. Read him a book. Now, I'll read him a book, and maybe I got five minutes of his attention. Then he's up wanting to do something else. This boy will look at TV, and as you know, I'll be talking to you guys, and he be ear hustling. He knows everything what I'm talking about with you guys.
You know when D-Cop come on here.
Because then he'll know, because he'll get. Yeah, he knows when D-Cop's out here. And he's crazy about D-Cop. He jump up.
Yep.
In fact, both of them is.
D-Cop, huh?
In fact, both of them is. D-Cop, what you doing, D-Baby?
They do the same thing. They do the same thing, Miss TR.
Shay, D-Cop, and Milkshake bringing all the boys to the yard again.
And I'm telling my granddaughter.
Wow. So your daughter is not as open about it.
She needs to have him. No. She said, he's not retarded. Why you keep saying like he's retarded? I'm not saying he's retarded. I told her, he's not retarded. Why are you saying that?
That's heartbreaking. Because she's really
it is heartbreaking
from getting the help that he can get. And like as a mother, even if it's hurtful, you still want the best for your child, I would think.
And then she gets mad at me. She says, and she yells at him like, certain verbal abuse she says to him, such as she'll say something like, "Why are you standing there looking at me like that?" I said, you're acting like you're a dummy, and she just says verbal things to him. I say, he's trying.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I go through hell here, guys. You don't know the stress that I go through with her, with him.
You know what? I'm not trying to be funny, but she needs help. She has a lot of freaking issues. Just put it like she has a lot of damn issues. And I think everybody's doing her a disservice by not getting her help.
I was getting ready to say, has she ever had help?
Me.
Has she ever had help?
So bad with this boy. Yeah, well, she won't, because we told her to get help. We told her to get help. My med went into postpartum for baby. The only reason why she is here, living here in this house, is so that we are able to be an advocate for Nehemiah, to protect him. Other than that, she would have been out. If there was a way where she can get her own place and leave him here, not only come and visit, we can get that agreement, we will do it. And I think she uses him because she knows how we feel about him. That boy is glued to me, you know, to where at times I don't have a breather. But she won't fight for him. And then she tells me it's not my child. I don't need to be saying anything. I said, well, let me meet with the teacher. No, I'm the mother. She won't let me do anything. Because what they need to do, I said, you need to take him to a neurologist. He needs to do this. She didn't even take him to a pulmonary doctor yet after he came out of the hospital. So she's like, she's selfish. To me, she's selfish. You know, some people have the, some mothers are moms and some mothers are just not moms. And she's just one of them, you know? So I go through stress every day with this boy and her because she doesn't understand him. She gets tired of the stemming. She yells at him for stemming. He repeats himself too many times. He bothers me nonstop because he needs affirmation in everything that he does. And then he'll go to hug her and she'll push him away. She has issues. But as far as with Nehemiah, he's always in trouble for aggressiveness. And I'm saying, I believe my spirit is telling me it's the stemming. Because he must be a distraction of the other kids when he stems.
And that's because he's not in the school that's designated for him. Like he's in school, like I was telling you know you know the school I'm talking about downtown. That's a really good school.
That's really what I was trying to get her to because my sister friend, I call her, her son went there. They said that he would never read or talk. This boy ended up being on the dean's list.
Absolutely. Classes are very
he went to that school.
Yeah.
And she needs to get on it now. Social service will eventually.
But you know what? We all know what she needs to do, but I don't know how to get her to do it.
But you know what, Miss TR, I also think it's like that whole thing of tiptoeing around someone. And then what's going to happen is you got to outweigh it, right? Like you either tiptoe around her or you wind up with the child that's going to grow into a young man and he's going to be in prison because nobody's going to tolerate it, right? Because we all know that right, because we all know he needs the help.
All right.
Right?
All right. Well, if you know what, then and
you love him. I know you do.
We all know he needs help. How do I get that done? You know, do I contact DAFIS and tell them what's going on and they take him away from us?
They won't
last time the father took him.
No. They may take him away from her.
But
they won't take him away from you.
He has a father.
Miss TR.
He goes to his father's. Wait a second, please. He goes to his father, and we don't see him anymore because that's what happened. They would not allow me and my daughter to see him, and my daughter had been supporting him since he was in his mother's womb. They did nothing financially, nothing, even up to this day.
So Dad is in his
over there. We won't see him.
So his dad is around.
Do anything, and what Dad does. What do you mean he's around? So you know what? His sister will call up. His father's sister will call up and ask for him. But anytime on the iPad, he spoke to him one time this year. One time. He called him. And he spoke to him on his iPad because near myself. Oh, Dad's on the phone. I said, well, then answer it. So it's like we got two deadbeat parents. The mother is some type of narcissist, and she won't, his mother meaning. And when she had him, when
Nehemiah was taken away from my granddaughter because she was acting out and acting stupid just like she is now, went to the father. And don't you know that we missed Christmas, we missed his, we didn't see him for almost a whole year. We missed Christmas, his birthday, every holiday. They would not allow, and then when I would call up there, they would hang up on us. And then she told me not to ever call there again at her house. What am I to do? Yeah, I don't know. We don't know what to do. My daughter's fed up. She said, well, that's her problem. I'm not down with that because I strongly believe in my heart he will suffer abuse. So if she's doing things while we're here watching her, how much more will she do?
But you know what?
Alone with him.
But you know what?
I don't know what to do. I know you guys are telling me what needs to be done. I know what needs to be done, but I don't know how.
Right, how? Because I didn't know Dad was around. And unfortunately, here in North Carolina, when you got down to the wire as to who would get him, Dad would step up and get him first. Then you got to fight the process of getting him from Dad. That's when you're going to have to go, and you're going to have to, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to take an attorney, probably social service, all that's going to have to get involved. What's going to happen? Because just as you prove her as a non-fit parent, you have to prove him as a non-fit parent. It's what's going to happen. What's going to have to happen. It's a process, but to me, it's a process that's worth fighting. Because right now, at least you'll be fighting for something. Right now, what you're fighting for is a dead-end road for that baby. A ticket straight to prison when he get older. Because the first little law they come with, that's what I'm trying to do.
And the crazy thing is
worth fighting.
Mm-hmm. And what I was gonna say is because we from the same town, so she knows. Like I feel my heart breaks because that's a town, that's a place, a very dangerous place, and it's one of those places where you either fit in or you die, right? You either fit in, you either link up with gangs, or you don't make it out here. So when you outweigh your options, I don't know. I think it comes down, and I'm not trying to be funny, Miss CR. I'm just speaking in general, but you know me, I don't bite my tongue. I think a lot of it is, that hush hush situation, like of you know, nobody wants to be able to point a finger, but in some situations you have to, because you got to break the chain, right? And I think it starts with your daughter also, because she dropped the ball because her daughter has issues. It's clear her daughter has issues. And she's in denial. And I guess that's okay, because you know what? I don't have a child that's autistic, but I can imagine if I did, maybe the beginning stages of it, do you feel a little hurt? Like you start blaming yourself, like maybe you start thinking, did I do something? Did I health-wise, did I do, you know what I mean? Maybe you go through that in the beginning, and then it's like, you know what? I need to get my baby some help, right? And not because he's damaged goods, but he needs to be able to function with his gift, because that's what it is at the end. I have family members and they are blessed children. They are highly functioning. A lot of them, they think faster than we think. You know, I've seen it. So it's how to have him grow within that gift, because it's still a blessing. It's still a gift. God hasn't made anyone else like him but him. You know what I mean? So you need to be able to mold and cultivate that. But if everybody sits down and tries to figure out how can we do this while tiptoeing on eggshells, somebody's going to have to take the higher road, which is the harder road, and have to face it dead on. Maybe if somebody got involved, I don't know what services can get involved, but I guess you can figure that part out. And then I doubt they would take him away from a loving family. Maybe they will impose on her that she get medication for herself, because she also has an issue. She has it, from what we hear, all the stories that you said, she has a dangerous issue within herself. So you can't expect her to be a mother to him. And then if everyone tiptoes around her situation, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Drop the link, B-Town, for a shake.
I have a
I just
comment.
saw it. I'm doing it now.
I have a comment, and it
Go
was
ahead.
more of a suggestion for Miss TR because I think we mentioned this a month ago or so. Here's the thing: if you the school at this point, I know because from my experience, I don't want to be too forward. School realize what's going on, but they cannot sit there and diagnose unless the mom initiates something. So what Miss TR might have to do is talk to like a principal. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I can and say, hey, the way it happened to me, it wasn't where, I was in denial because I had a child care provider. He wasn't actually in a structured school yet, which I'm glad I caught it that early. However, when it gets to a point, either they don't care in that school system or they realize that, and there's some parents like that do not want to acknowledge there is something your child needs extra help. And if Ms. TR can take that initiative, and I'm not saying she doesn't want to, but probably plant that seed in the school saying, hey, I'm Nehemiah's grandmother and this is my concerns. And maybe if the teachers, maybe she'll listen to the teachers because obviously she's not listening to, mom or grandmom. Maybe it'll make her realize that some people like the authorities of teacher. Me, because I got teachers, in my freaking family. I can tell you if you bullshitting me or you're not. You know where I'm going? But some parents will go and take that as the rule of law because the teacher said that. And not all
Right.
teachers are for your children. Oh, trust me on this.
Exactly. Good point, world. World say, but there are people look at their child with some form of disability as a reflection of themselves. So that is true. Maybe that's how
That's true.
your granddaughter looks at it.
Yep.
Well,
Maybe she was doing
as of right
something.
now,
They
right
have what
now they
then?
have
That
sheer
could be the
custody.
case.
They legally have sheer custody. Although there's, like I explained before, and people didn't understand, he gives no child support. He has really nothing to do with his child. It's like no responsibility whatsoever, as if Nehemiah doesn't exist. Now, when he does have Nehemiah, he's good to Nehemiah. Or he might have Nehemiah maybe once or twice out of the whole year. And then, like I said, he drops him off at his mother's house, and she has full control. And we did that experience when Nehemiah was taken away. We weren't upset because Nehemiah was taken away, but don't punish us. She would not allow us to see him. She would not. hmm And you know
I
what?
think
All the ugliness that she did. If they call up and ask for Nehemiah, we would never say no. But they don't even call up and ask. They don't even call. They didn't even call on his birthday. His birthday is the day after Christmas. He did not hear from them. Not near one of them.
Okay. Shay has a question. She wants to know, is he acting out in school?
They said he is, but I don't believe he is. They said he doesn't stay focused. Like no crap. I believe it's the stemming. And what happens is when he stems, you cannot physically touch him. He's that type of autism that sometimes I can't even hug him. You can't touch him. And I think if they were
Okay.
educated, they would know this.
Maybe he's looking for some
No,
love, and you said she don't hug him. She push him away.
yes, she does that. All the hugs come from me.
That's oh God.
And see, I can't imagine being in what you say second grade, and my mama not hugging me. I probably did second grade. I was probably still getting in my mama's lap going to sleep.
Well, you know what? The only reason why he's not with me right now is because he's upstairs with the youngest granddaughter, Destiny. He sticks to her. So when she's around, she's home from college. When she's around, I get a little bit of a break. But when she taps out, he's right here with me. Right here with me. Well, anyhow, his mother just stepped in, so I can't talk anymore. She just stepped in.
Lord, right. Okay, Lovely said, how old is Nehemiah?
7.
7.
That breaks my damn heart.
Yeah, me too, Nadia. I was just
That,
thinking
that
that.
just breaks my heart because there's so many balls being dropped. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's sad. It's really sad to hear.
You know, Love Blake, that's how I was thinking that. Does she really want him, or is she just basically reaping whatever benefit she can behind him? If the only benefit is okay, as long as I got him, Grandma gonna let me stay there.
I can hear y'all. If Miss Tiara is
Oh,
on.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah. They have to shift it.
That's right. Yeah.
Change up a bit.
Well,
can you write?
But you know what, NYW, I really enjoyed your story, and gosh, you know what, I'm so against like seeing people's children and things like that, because you know this place is weird up here. Mm-hmm. But I vicariously, like through your stories, I can like picture this cute little boy and all the funny stuff that he says. So when he jumps on his voice and he's like cake and cookies or whatever, I'm just like dying. I am dying over here. God bless him. He sounds so sweet. He really
is. Thank you, Nadia. We don't use the word because people we turn the word bad because there's so many definitions of bad. And, you know, because he's very sensitive. And I said, no, Jeremiah, you are mischievous. That's not bad, you know, because, I mean, that's what was coming from the school. Word. You're bad. You're this, you're that, you know, and he would just come home. And what I'm saying, I understand the situation of being with the security guard because he was pretty much the teacher. The one school, he was the office assistant, the front desk assistant. He spent more time in their office than he was in a damn class.
And I was like, security of the world.
The top flight security. He was so little. He would sit on the counter, and I didn't have to go to the class. I just went to the front office. So, you know, but, you know, he's not the mascot. So what are you telling me? This is an oxymoron. He's doing so good in the front office, but you can't teach him. You see where I'm going? There's more levels to this, but I'm sorry. I apologize, you guys. I'm tired today, you know? And so I was like, what the hell? So it is who is willing to do their job, or you gotta have been like me. And I feel blessed to have those resources. Oh no, you gonna do your job. Well, so they don't like to see me coming.
Go and get that for your son, because I think we also think like, you know what, one day we're not going to be here. That's how I think as a mother. I've always, from the time I gave birth, I've always said to myself, I'm not going to always be here. I'm not going to always be here. So you want to be able to set them up in life, you know, even when they have a disability. The disability, like in that situation, is a blessing, but it's how they work.
Right.
So I want to be able to, in that situation, I want my child to be, you know what I mean, the most functioning child that could be out there, because I feel like I say this now, my children are adults, and I'm always every day. I just said it to my daughter not too long ago. She couldn't. She made Brussels sprouts, and she didn't want to make dinner, right? So I said, okay, well, one day I'm not going to be here. Remember, no one's going to love you like me. That's how I get dinner, y'all. That's how I get my food. I got to throw that out there. I'll say, look, nobody's going to love you like me. But, you know, like I'll always tell them I'm not going to always be here. I'm not going to always be here. So
exactly,
you want to set them up in life to where they can function, because God forbid something does happen. Look at the situation he's in.
And that is what I didn't want to. I had to be real with myself, you know, because I'll be honest, you guys. In some ways, when I think about it back a while ago, because he's 11, you know, I was trying to pattern him. I feel guilty because I was comparing him to his oldest brother and couldn't figure out, you know, what the heck. Now, children are different. Period. You got different personalities and everything, but basics. That is what I feel bad about, when he just didn't fall in the norms of basics. I mean, he was already potty trained and everything before 2, you guys. I forgot that. So you're not thinking there's something else going on. You know, it was just quick, go, 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 go. Oh, I'm done that. He done throwing diaper. Oh, I'll tell you a funny story. I'll tell you this funny story. So, okay. So he was like, I tell you, remember, he was already walking by 9 months. So he was already standing up in his playpen. And one thing Jeremiah did not like is the feeling of a wet diaper. He wasn't playing them games. That diaper would come off. And he was not playing them. And we were trying to figure out first, like, did you put the diaper on? I put the diaper on right. Did you put the diaper on right? So we already was trained by Jeremiah that you better not have no wet diaper on him. Okay. So I looked at Jeremiah. I said, okay, I think he peed. And I told my oldest son, hey, can you change Jeremiah for me? And I remember I was working on the couch. And my son was, and Jeremiah just got changed. My son was playing the computer, and the way his playpen was set up, it was like parallel to my eyes. So I'm looking forward. My son is in front of me, and then Jeremiah is right to my right of me. And he just got his diaper changed. And all of a sudden, I see this diaper go flying out the playpen. And I was like, oh my God, it hit the back of my son's head. I swear to God, it's a true story.
Oh,
and like the bro, I look and I didn't look all the way in the playpen. And I told my oldest son, I was like, why would you leave? It was perfectly rolled up, you guys. You know how you roll up the diaper, you put it back, and it looks like a roll, looks like a softball. I said, why would you leave the diaper in with Jeremiah? And he said, Mom, I didn't do that. I didn't throw it away. I looked in the playpen. Jeremiah was butt naked he had a shirt on and he had nothing on from the bottom on down. He unrolled up the diaper, you guys, and threw it at his brother. I could not believe that. I mean, I swear to God, I'm telling you, you guys, it was the funniest thing I ever seen. That's how advanced he was. So you're not thinking ADHD. You're not thinking autism. You think about this boy about to build. He's about to take over the world. Okay. So.
Well, he needs to right about now. He needs to. Because he needs to replace y'all. He needs to replace y'all president.
Lovely question. Lovely.
Miss Tiara backstage. Miss Tiara.
She's backstage.
And Love Blake asked Miss TR, does she take him out for walks to the mall, etc.?
No.
But NYW, I was saying, he was smart. So he, if you roll it up, right? That's to give it up. Force. That's to give it to, so we can get it from this side of the room to the next. It's not gonna be no diaper. It's gonna give it wind. It's gonna stop. No, I need Mama to fill this one. Let me roll this up.
And when you would assume that his older brother left the old diaper in there. What happened was we looked at it. He peed it again. He was that quick, like he was holding it for a new fresh diaper. And so, we were like, okay, so he was mad. He peed in it. He took it up. He rolled it up with his little body. I wish I had a cam, and he threw it and hit his brother in the back of the head. And if I could get my son on the line, one of these story, the oldest one.
Miss TR says, I'm the only one that takes him out.
Did you let Miss TR up, V-Town?
I don't think she's going to come back up. I don't see her. It's just back there. She's in the chat. I think she's in the chat.
That's heartbreaking.
It is.
Love Blake.
She's in the chat, y'all.
Yeah, Love Blake.
No, only one.
You know what, Love Blake, that you make perfect sense. That's the only thing I could think of.
And
it's so sad because
I'll call you when I finish.
So his aunt and you are the only one who spends time with him.
You got his grandmother in the house, his great grandmother, his mother, his aunt.
I'm gonna pay it, Randy. Okay.
Oh, she's back, not coming up. Okay.
Yeah, she's in the chat. She said no, she's back. She can't. She's not coming up. So she is in the chat if you have questions for Love Blake.
But I want to say this. I want to reiterate what Nadia said. When I realized, and I've gotten to this point, I feel like, I'm still in a race, you guys. This is not over because we haven't even hit hormones yet. Okay.
Right.
I didn't think about it.
This is going to be an ongoing thing. People don't realize it doesn't stop. Well, okay, you diagnose and it's fixed. Here, take a drug. It's
Right.
a lot of therapy. It's a lot of learning who you're dealing with as a child and now into adult and setting him up, as you said, Nadia, because I would love to be around as long as I can, but we don't know our timeline. So I want to make him as independent as possible. And that is what, it's a struggle every day sometimes, and it's not easy. Don't think because I'm laughing. This is just the funny part, but it's very difficult at times when he doesn't want to. He goes in his I wouldn't say can't what Miss TR uses is stemming, but he goes into his phases, because it'll come and go, and then it just seems like a normal day, and then he'll have his phases, and he doesn't want to cooperate, and he'll just sit there and pick his nails raw, his fingernails raw. So there's different stages of what I go through, and then it seems like he's just regular average child. So I tell everybody, they ask me the question. I'm like, shoot, I'm learning as we going with you. I've just gotten to this part, and I have a really good girlfriend who has a son who's in high school, and she going through it. Okay, and he's still, but it's not Jeremiah because Jeremiah's personality is different. I wouldn't say they're all the same, but it's very similar. He's now, forget about the COVID, he's just going to homeschool because he cannot adapt to amongst, it's different. I don't know how to say it, guys. It's different with their peers. He cannot adapt to, I got to be at this class at the same time. I got to be organized. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I think I told you guys the other days, he likes structure, but you better be structured because he is the most unorganized, structured child I've ever met in my life. My son, and it's the same for my friend's son who is he's like 15, 16, and she going through it. So it's something that, bless you, it is something that, it's a work in progress, but you have to have a parent that, it's an interactive, it's a job in itself. So I equate Jeremiah to 2.5 children. That's how much. And the different personalities. He doesn't have multiple personality disorder, but that's what you're working with, because I got different disorders going on, like with the ADHD and anxiety. I didn't tell you he don't like flying objects. He could see a bee coming from a mile away, and we wonder why he running down the road, and then here come the bee. It'll be nothing in sight.
Wow.
Things like that. He knows when horn, and I gotta make sure to him, like some of it is a placebo effect, but I made sure all the hornets are down, the nest, there's no flying bugs, no nothing. I sprayed it down, things of that nature. So, he could see a tiny ant on the wall where nobody else could see. So I think it's because he's special. Who can do that? You know what I mean? Yeah. He will know something out of place, but it's a work in progress. Do I know the outcome? No, but I just want to, like you said, set the foundation to make sure he has, the best possible chance in life, because it's already difficult being a child of color. Okay. Because they will railroad them, and they tried it, and no, it ain't happening over here. So we got a whole newfound respect, but they won't do nothing unless you do something as a parent, or, a designatee that will speak for them. If it's some way someone can be convinced that you don't got to do nothing, let's just, I'll handle the school. Maybe they could do that. And I don't want to say names because I understand. You understand, Miss T?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Because he ain't getting younger, and it's only going to get worse if the behaviors are not being addressed.
Miss, you see that? Yeah, she just wrote.
I'm gonna look. I haven't been looking at the chat, you guys. I'm sorry.
I have it on the screen.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Let me see. I just asked.
Yeah, because there's something that may trigger them. So you can work with a professional. Some people do this on their own, but there's things that can trigger him. And I cannot stress to you how Jeremiah has gone for like 6, 7, 8 hours asking about the same thing, you guys. The same thing on the same subject. I thought I was losing my mind. I
Love
mean,
Blake.
No,
Love Blake has a
stimulation check.
that stimulus check. What? And we're running with it. Promise.
Stimulation.
okay, Love Blake, I agree.
She said
Right, I
stimulus.
said, ooh, love Blake.
Oh Lord.
I love love Blake.
Who would ask the question? Missy, it's her only child. Okay, why the father won't let y'all see him? If he gets custody of him.
Yeah, but she can read. I think she can read the comment because she's in
the chat.
Because she's in the chat.
Yeah, she's in the chat. Otherwise, the granddaughter's gonna hear it.
She's gonna hear it.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, you got me overdosing on my gummy vitamins over here.
Oh Lord, Lord.
Oh my goodness.
Did you see what the world wrote? He said, "Open your mouth and risk an argument, or stay quiet and never grow."
Right. She said, yes, he is both their only child, so it's not the dad. It's the dad's mother. So it's like grandma. Grandma is the one that you would actually be fighting. So, but if your daughter doesn't stand up, so that'd be grandma versus great grandma. So she still would come in front of you.
Love Blake. Beat the beach with a bat. I like Love Blake.
Oh Lord. I have no love for her. Beat the beach with a bat. Leave it to that one right now. If y'all go with her diagnosis, everybody will get right there. Oh, that's her mercy. But seriously, do you think that she may be on any kind of drugs, or does she appear to be a very heavy drinker, a big partier?
She may just be embarrassed. And
well, I remember Miss TR saying, remember she told us that when they're out somewhere and he started to make noise or start to stem or something like that, and she said, her daughter would say, or her granddaughter would say, look at him, stop, make him stop. Looking all retarded. And Miss TR be like, well, let him do it, But he's looking retarded. I remember her saying that. I don't know if it's cool.
okay. Yeah, it's not she's probably bipolar. And it's hard to deal, especially if she's not on medication.
She said, yeah, she does think she's bipolar. That's her child. He didn't ask to cry. It was her love. Right. At this point, no blame needed. It's just the help that's needed. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Blame. At this point, blame gets you nowhere.
Because I think the more time you spend time blaming other people and looking at other situations, it's wasting time. It's water under a bridge already. Like, it's water already under a bridge.
At this point, it's about going forward. And going forward might be
But
getting her out of the house.
that it's a lot of children in juvenile detention centers and things like that. Same situation. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And then they wind up in prison. They wind up all kinds of situations. You know what I mean?
And Miss TR
needed with some type of medical help, from a professional doctor, school, all that. It takes a team, I think, it takes a village just for children without disabilities. So
I'm telling you.
you know what I mean? You need real people around you that's gonna help you out. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, because already as a mother with just a child, period, we don't know everything. We don't know everything. I went through my worst times as a parent. When they get older, it's worse. Oh my God.
Have you already typed it, baby?
You really it's like, Lord, when they're smaller, it's okay. When they're older, they got their own personalities. They got their own personalities, honey. They've been here before. They know everything that you don't know. You know what I mean? So
right.
It takes a village to
anybody see Shay's question from NYW? Did I overlook it?
Oh, let me look. Okay. I'm gonna find it. Miss TR's in the chat. Story says, Shay says exactly. I meant to say is, what is Nehemiah gonna do without Miss TR? Okay, no. Scroll up. Oh wow, is
I don't see it.
Agent Orange with dingleberries. Okay, no, that's not it. I'm scrolling.
Miss TR say, how is it that her daughter is dropping the ball? She's a hard-working mother.
I think when they saying your daughter, they're referring to your granddaughter. They're talking about his mother.
No, it's the daughter, because she's the grandmother.
Oh, I could see that.
The grandmother, is the back, should be the backup.
Yeah.
To make sure that her daughter.
And I'm gonna tell you how I see how, because again, like this is just repetitive. This is the blame game all over again. So it's really moving forward. It's just about getting help. But when you ask that question, Ms. TR, I think because if that's her child, it started somewhere for that child who is now a mother. That anger, that temper, that whole bit that she does, it started somewhere with her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how she's related to, because she's not exempt. I don't think so. I think if my children, let's for instance, my daughter has a child, and my daughter's going through something. She's obviously been going through something. You said it, since she was a child, she's been going through stuff. So my daughter has a child, the child has, issues, and I'm sitting here, and now you're dealing with the repercussions. Now you're dealing with all that, what's happening now. But as a child, it had to, somewhere along the line, maybe she had issues. And you're right. You said she worked a lot. I believe you. That's why I said it's not the blame game, but you have to. I think when you're dealing with situations like this, you do have to own up to something. Say, okay, let me help my baby. Let me help my child. Here, I got to do this.
I agree, Nadia, because remember I was telling you the hours of work, that was a normal day. That wasn't an extended day that I had, So right after I would put, like I said, my son was in the childcare from 5:50 in the morning to like 5:50 in the afternoon. And then if it was an extended day, then I had the long-term care provider. You get where I'm going? So I spent a lot of time, there's some guilt to that, because I didn't identify it because I wasn't there during the crucial, pivotal moments because I worked. What my child knows of me, Mom, I'll be gone. I'm serious, but it is what it is. It's the nature of your job sometimes. So it's not to blame, but it's also the awareness, you know, because she's always had that help and that support, and so did I, to sit there and complete and do what I went out to do with my career. But then there's this repercussion because it's very difficult, you know, with children with these special needs. You don't, if they look normal, and I don't want to say that, I'm telling you, but you know, there's all those quirks that you have to deal with, and if you're in denial, it's only going to blow up in your face. And what I'm afraid with Nehemiah is because when Jeremiah used to get violent, he don't do that anymore. We had to work that, and it was like these outbursts that we had to learn how to hold him a special way. You get what I'm saying? But if you're
Right.
not trained and you don't know, and these are behaviors, I feel like Jeremiah is so much better from when he was at his worst as a child, advanced, but still a grown adult talking out of a child's body, but a child's mentality. I cannot explain how this was working. And then it was like he would, okay, it was too much for him, and he had to tap out, and then he finally reverted to being a child and with outbursts, and then would be going through one of his, you know, autistic episodes. Unless you go through it, you don't know. And I mean, I was afraid they were going to call the police because they thought we would beat him. He was screaming so loud and shaking and just getting violent that we had to learn how to, you know, contain him. But he's past that. But if the you know, a child in question is not learning, means it takes a minute, but they will learn, you know, because he's high functioning. I'm not a doctor, but he seems very high functioning. He will get out of it and grow out of it eventually. But if you don't show him the right way or have a professional show you, it's only going to get worse. And you don't want to, because I've gone to groups, you know, with other parents. It's like you know, we could talk to each other, and it can get to a point where your child has to go to a special school that you don't want him to go to, where they have to learn how to be, you know, regular normal human behaviors, because it's so bad they're attacking you, destroying things, and you got to call the police, and then you're paying for them to, you know, put them in special programs. That's not for free, you guys, and pay them to put them in special programs so they can learn how to, you know, be restructured again, to act normal and not, you know, become violent and to, you know, hurt themselves and others. It can get that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Shay, type your question in, baby. We can't find it. The question for NYW. Me, no, none of you can't find it. About that.
I don't know. I hear you, Miss. I'm really gonna pray for you. I really am. I hope it really works out.
Right.
Yeah. That's a tough one. That's really tough.
It is. It is. But I can speak. I can say this. Who's working? Well, let me ask you something.
She said it's a single parent household, but they all live in a house.
It's actually a single great grandmother's household is what it is. Truth be told. Who's working straight with the teacher about him?
Nobody.
Because there's a way to show the character of the mother by her not being in his life.
Now, Miss B, are you familiar with this? Are you familiar with this? Because I don't know about my own state. I'm in New Jersey, but I'm not sure. But I've heard of a grandparent law. Have you guys heard of that?
And in North Carolina, they don't honor grandparents' law.
Yeah, I know about the grandparent law.
Okay.
But it depends on the state. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I don't know about it. I know I've heard it, but I don't know what I've seen someone, I think it was in Virginia, someone I knew, they were like, they're going to court, and it's in Virginia. They were going to court, and this is recently because they had issues. It's a good friend of mine. She's a grandparent and had issues with her son's, you know, the kid's mother. And a girl was out partying and stuff like that. And the kids were getting like bruises, don't know where it happened. The kids are small. So she literally, because her son is involved, but he's not as involved as he should be because he works around the clock. So she's going to court for grandparent rights. And that's supposed to be like, she gets them, she's fighting for the summer. to have them in the summer, every summer, and things like that. So
Shay,
I don't know where she writing it because I don't see that question.
I'm not. I don't either. Yes,
yeah, I scrolled all the way
Shay,
through.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I don't see your question either, Shay.
Type it now while NYW is asking for the question. Yeah, that North Carolina law, it does not. It doesn't stand here. For example, we don't honor the grandparents' law.
I don't know if it's here. I know they do celebrate Grandparents' Day at schools.
Okay, well, yeah, I probably honor it.
Oh no, they have that here, but the law, like say for instance, your daughter wasn't doing right with your grandsons, like you can step in, you can actually take her to court as a grandparent. There's some type of a law umbrella. I don't know much about it, but I've heard about that. So I wonder if it's in my own state. I don't know. Maybe you could look into that, Ms. TR. I don't know, but then you'll deal with backlash, so that's a lot.
It's a lot, right?
You'll be like damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Right.
I do get that feeling too. But if Shay has a question, I can give her a little thing if it's about the diaper incident. One thing I realized that he didn't like his hiney to be wet. He didn't like the feeling of being wet. But one thing that I have finally one thing I finally finally worked this out is you just can't go to the bathroom anywhere you want to. So what I mean by that is Jeremiah will just stop and drop his pants and pee. Okay. And I was like, oh my God. So we worked that out
for me.
and then I
think I want to revert back to that.
He don't care. And he don't like clothes. So I stopped him from running out the house without no clothes on. So, he liked to be free. So it was a combination of both. He liked to free ball and he don't like to be wet. Okay. So he'll run up and his aunt will pull up in the driveway. He'd be like, Auntie, and I've caught him. But it'd be stuff like that because it doesn't register. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like slightly off. Things like that do not register for him. And he is 11 years old. But we worked on that. And I tell you, one time, him and his brother, I was out of the country, and his brother decided to go visit his grandmom. And he took his little brother with him, Jay. So they got on the plane, and you know how everybody rush up. They were like on number 22, way in the back, 22 something, okay? And Jeremiah all of a sudden was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And my son was like, well, we gotta wait till all these people move. And he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And nobody was saying nothing. He kept getting louder. I gotta go to the bathroom. And then he was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Guess what, you guys? He parted the sea and they got off the plane first, and my son went to the bathroom. So yeah, it's stuff like that. He just don't. I said, that's a good thing. He was like, Mom, I'm so embarrassed. But I said, that's a good thing. You got off the plane before everybody else, and Jeremiah got to go to the bathroom. Because there were people behind them, so they couldn't go to the one in back to them, and they couldn't get off the plane. And these, how folks be rude on the plane. Everybody got to go somewhere, but then as soon as they get off the freaking in the terminal, they walking like freaking turtles. You did all that on the plane, but you walking like a turtle now. I noticed that type of stuff. So that's the things he do. He does not like to be wet. But then get this, he loved to go swimming. You guys go figure.
Okay, Shay, this is playing, but this is the first time I've seen this question. Shay's question was to NYW, as a mother who has an autistic child, how are you dealing with him? Here comes Shay. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I was about to. I'll wait for Shay.
I'm here. I was like, man, Miss Big Town over there rustling that bag of Funyuns, and I ain't paying 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, know what? That was my medicine bag. I was taking my pills. It wasn't even nothing to eat that time. It wasn't Funyuns that time, y'all. I promise.
Okay. I was
mad. Love Blake, see what you got started, Love Blake.
Oh my God. I was mad.
This is the first time I've seen this question. Yeah, I'm honest. I have not seen this question in this thread all night long.
Okay, so this is my question to you, NYW, as a mother. How you, I know Jeremiah is fine. Jeremiah is good because you have been over and, beyond and backwards for your son, to make sure that he, everything is good for him and make sure he's comfortable as well so that, you can control the outbursts for him. But as far as you like mentally, how are you, and physically, how are you doing?
Good question.
Well, I was trying to, and remember I was having a brain fart. Thanks for the question, Shay. I really appreciate that. I was going to a support group for a minute, but I found that just because we had the children in common, I just was not feeling the group. You get where I'm going? Because it could be a spectrum, and I just felt like they were cray. So I was like, no, I'm just going to handle this on my own. So sometimes there are advocates, and what people don't understand, there are people there's organization that will offer free counseling and support for people. I'm not a group person in that sense, I just maybe it was that group of people at that time. Because like I'll have my personal friends and we'll bounce ideas off each other, or we both be like crying on the phone, like, girl, OMG, and that's how I do it. But so there's no reflection. There's nothing bad about being in a group. It was just that particular group of people who had children with the same issues. So I went another direction, but it can be hard, Shay. It really can. It's exhausting. It really is exhausting. And I cannot stress, I pray every day before this COVID that I know the telephone number by heart, the school. That's how many times they call me, and it can be stressful because you're trying to figure out, it's like a combination with the child. Because even though they may be diagnosed with autism or something else, you got to figure out the combination for that individual, even though they may have the same diagnosis, because it ranges. It's like a rainbow spectrum. You ever see there'll be this shade of purple, and you ever go on the computer and you can make it lighter or darker or whatever. So the darkest is the highest form of autism. And then my son falls in between the lightest and the darkest of that shade of purple. So you got to figure out what works for you. He's still their parent. That's still your baby. He's still got a personality because he's high functioning.
Okay.
But, oh, girl, I just be like, I need a drink. So I'm not one for, don't get me wrong. I'll have a drink or something like that. But I feel fortunate that I don't feel I have like certain vices that people turn to, or not just, ignore my child, but I can't, it's not in my nature, you guys. It's not, I can't, it's not coming from my household. Maybe that's pride, but, oh no, we gonna win the race. Oh, we got, we didn't start off at the block with everybody else, but we coming up behind you. And that's how I look at it,
Okay.
So that me being stubborn, I have my bad days and I have my good days. Today is a bad day, not because of Jeremiah, because there's just other things going on right now. But, it just weighs on me, and I still got to get up. I got to get him ready. OMG, get him ready for school. This is kind of a blessing in disguise, the COVID situation. Because like I said, I don't know if you guys heard me, he living his best life because he don't got to deal with them folks at school, and things seem normal here. But I am the teacher, the cook. I have a little bit of a brain when he's at school, you guys. And it's the Jeremiah, I call it. They'd be like, why were you late for school? We've kind of made accommodations. I was like, it was the Jeremiah show. Okay, because Jeremiah, even when for the ADHD with the medication, sometimes because you don't, as a parent, don't want to overdose him, because some parents just throw all this medication on their children and they become almost catatonic, and like that ain't gonna do nothing, So it took years to find a fine balance of what medication gives him enough to focus, and we got therapy to work through his, behavioral problems, meaning with the autism, and then there's a little bit of a cocktail that is a secondary from the medication that actually works with children with autism.
Okay.
And I give them the lowest dose because, I mean, we didn't know what was going to work. So we had to go with the actual psychiatrist, and we were working with these dosage. So for now, for his weight and his age, this particular dose is working with him. But you see, he grew. So, that's another thing you don't know. As they grow, the dosage may not work because their body metabolizes it different at a certain weight in that dosage. Right. So you trying to figure out, all of a sudden he had a growth spurt and he'll knock somebody over the head, okay, at school because that medicine is worn off. And I remember he's a double whammy. He got two things going on, you know? So you're like, oh shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Beaton. I didn't mean to do that. And you're trying to keep him out of so many, we're going to have to write this up, you know, but, you know, the school really worked with me because they understand finally, because we all went through this together, what's going on with Jeremiah. And like I said, with the IEP and accommodations, and they know, they know what to look out for him, what works for him, remove him from the situation, you know, all fails. Like when he has a panic attack when that little girl purposely killed the worm in front of him, you know, they busted out the Oreo cookies and he was fine. But that is like, it sounds funny, but no, really, he will stop, drop, and roll for an Oreo cookie. Okay. So, you know, it's things like that. So, you know, Shay, thank you for asking me. It's just, I'm a little stressed out, but I mean, I think I've told you guys this could be some of my outlet because I come on, you know, the tube and run the streets because it's an outlet, you know, right. And it's just fun for me because I don't go party. I don't drink and, you know, I don't do all, you know, what you be like, really, you know? And so, and for me, I'm not judging anybody, but that's not my forte. And personally, for my job, I can't be doing that stuff because they'll put me in a drug and alcohol program in a hot, quick second. And we don't want that. Okay. Yeah, so that, you know, it's some good things and some bad things that come with my job. So I need a vacation. Anybody willing to donate to the, you know, the NYW fund? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Now we can get one.
I need one too.
I had a plan, you guys, and then COVID came around. I was like, gosh, damn it.
Yeah. Everybody's been complaining about COVID and their children. Lord have mercy.
Because normally he'd be in a day camp, you guys. And, you know, that was like, okay, summertime come, woo, you got your backpack, got your food, everything. Here's your meds, blah, blah, blah. Bye, you know. And they, even with the day camps and stuff, they are where, you know, it's whole application process. So it's not like I'm just throwing him in some random place. I only put him where everybody is on the same page. I don't experiment with him.
Okay. Exactly, because you can't do that. I want to share a little bit of a story when I used to work with developmental disability. And, you know, before autism is where it is now, or when they put a name on it, instead of saying they was mentally retarded, they use now they say, even with some, they use still autistic. You get what I'm saying? Because they say it sounds a little bit more better when you say
exactly, or Asperger's.
Yes, yes. Because even here in the state of Arizona, it's certain words you just can't say when them folks come for them, when they do the licensing, when they come to visit, because they will pop up on your ass like, what's up, what's going on, you know. And I never forget, I was working because the way they lived in houses. They had like this 4 or 5 bedroom house. They had like 3 or 4 bathrooms in the home. It was fixed up real nice, like some, it was very homey. You get what I'm saying? But what happened, we had to cook for them. It wasn't nobody, we had a cafeteria and they went down there. You had to stand over the stove and you had to cook. Go to the grocery store, take them out. They used to get mad at me when they see me coming. They hated it because guess what? We ain't finna do. We ain't finna sit up in here. We finna pull that goddamn van up out of that garage because they had a garage, 2-car garage, and we had a van. We had the van with the for the wheelchair clients, and then we had a regular van. But we always took the regular van when we went to the grocery store. But the van with the wheelchair, oh baby, we finna turn some corners. We ain't staying up in here. They used to hate to see me come on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Oh no, we ain't finna prop up. So again, this young man, he was autistic. He could talk and everything, but for again, when I can relate what you're saying, NYW, with your son, he's structured. He and used to certain things. They don't like change. They do. That's one thing I had to learn a long time ago, that they don't like change. You have to keep it the same. Yeah, and even though the state, now I'm going to ease over here the state of Arizona, to be exact. The state of Arizona, I'm going to speak about the state of Arizona and the state of Florida, because in both of those states, that's where I did most of the developmental disability at. Now, the state of Florida, if you force them, or if they say no, that's what it is. That's what it is. They say no, no means no. Let it go. That's what it was. Arizona, they want you to try, try to, coerce them to be like, hey, let's go outside and sit on the swing. When they used to come in, when they get out of day camp, like you said, day camp, when they come back from day camp, they want their snack. They had a routine that they kept doing. So when we told them that when we try to switch it up, it causes stress on us and the other people on the third shift, because I work second shift, y'all. Because in the daytime, they were mostly gone. We would have somebody there, but we didn't need many people there until second shift. So I would tell them, I wanted them to get out the house. Or if I say, hey, if you want to go eat pizza, something that they like you said, Oreos with your son. Pizza may be with these people that I work with. Child, they be ready. When they see me, they know it's time to go. They know we ain't sitting up in no house. I will pull that goddamn van up out of that garage. Baby, them girls used to hate me, y'all. I promise you. They hated to see me come because we ain't sitting up in here watching no TV. And we ain't watching no goddamn Mexican soap operas either. Okay?
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them bust out with Spanish. I'm serious. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh no, one of them did. You're right. One of them did, but the other one didn't. He didn't talk. He didn't talk at all. He was more like you said, the sounds in NYW. He would point and sounds. That's what he was, and he was like in his 50s. He was in his 50s. Yep, he was in his 50s. So he would point like, he know I'm coming in there around 7 time or 4 o'clock. He want to look at cartoons. He want to, after he get his shower, he want his snack. So we would sit it on the table where he sit at. We couldn't rearrange the seats. That's another thing. He sit at in this chair. He couldn't sit nowhere else. So we got his juice, his snack, and he eat that before dinner. Then he go back in there and watch TV because he loved that. What is it, y'all? That string cheese. That string cheese that the kids eat. Yeah,
mozzarella string cheese.
Yes, that's it. NYW. That oh, good. I can't. But he loved that. He wanted an apple and some cheese and some juice. And after he get his bath, because we had to assist with that. Then he wanted to, get a snack and then go watch TV. Then he know dinner be done, and then he know he gotta go to bed. Now he don't have to, but he wants to. So with the state of Arizona, they want you to be like, no, can I do some stuff with them? So I had to tell my supervisor, I said, I need you to come over here with us. So you won't be thinking we're just blowing smoke up your butt, honey. Because see, when you ain't there and when you don't see it, then you don't know what's going on. When you ain't physically there, when you don't see it. So like we had one client, he had no family, y'all. The state was over him. He was appointed I forget, like a liaison from the state. So she made sure he was straight, and he was dead weight. He couldn't walk. He couldn't do nothing. So I told him, I said, oh, no, we're not going to lift him. You're going to get us a Hoyer lift. They was like, they ain't going to buy him no Hoyer lift. I said, watch me. They got that damn Hoyer lift because by law, we can't mess with him. See, you have to bust the law on him. He too heavy. We can hurt ourselves. We don't have any PPE to lift him up. We're supposed to have a weight belt that wraps around him and wrap around us when we pull him up to protect him and protect us. None of that. So they got that Hoyer lift. My supervisor said they had been asking for years to get that Hoyer lift. So again, when you in a facility, like some of the parents, like here in Arizona, y'all, they got a lot of those facilities here. It's a lot of developmental disability facilities here that deals with autism. A lot of autism here, especially since the schools ain't in.
Oh, I bet, because I mean, those are the severe cases, and people don't. That's why, when they look at children, oh, you need to beat they behind and do No. Don't get me wrong. He gets spanked, but I'm just saying, but that's what they're thinking, that, and this is what the conflict is with the teachers, because once they know, they don't want to put the extra effort in. And I got it. They got 26 to 30 kids in their classroom, but you know what? Arizona is fortunate that they have these accommodations, but here where I'm at, they are only, they only got with the most severe disabilities, and they had nothing set up for children with the spectrum. But everywhere I turn around, one of my colleagues just got his daughter diagnosed around the same age. She about 3 years old, doing the same thing, and she diagnosed. But I tell you, when I say, other than how fast he was developmentally, other than him being premature and on the small side, never in a million years would I thought that was the road to autism, ever. Okay. And now his daughter, it was just on Facebook, and he was telling the story, and you hear it, and it's just like, it's like 1 out of every 3 third child, not 1 out of 5, it seems. It's like every time you turn around, this child's autistic. So they have no choice to start accommodating these children, because they're getting lost in the system, and they're getting institutionalized or put in jail, or going down the wrong path, or they'll put them in with what Shay was talking about. That's the severe cases, and believe it or not, they'll start. Okay, in some cases, if they're in good in an environment and nurtured, they actually help each other. But in a lot of cases, it's just throw them in the room, restrain them. They're not learning anything. And these children are feeding off each other, and then they pick up all the worst parts of it, So you got to be careful when you say, hey, they need to be put, and parents might be pushing to put them in a like school, when they don't realize all they got is the daycare. Literally, it's a daycare and restraining. And there's no learning environment, but they do pick up, and they pick up in the wrong way. And some of them go deeper into the autism, if that makes sense to you guys.
Right.
You don't want them to go, so. And
you right in NYW. It depends. You exactly right, because as you said that, it took me back to when I was in Florida. And again, I was at a facility. See the difference here in Arizona? No facilities. If I ain't seen one yet. All of them are homes, like these 5 and 6 bedroom homes.
Okay.
2 and 3 car garages. It's set up on like a family style, nice. The house looks, I mean, beautiful. You know, yeah, it's set up like that, and a lot of them, again, like you said, what I've learned is the structure. I had to learn that and be patient with them. Now, again, now in Arizona, I ain't have to do no restraints, none, because guess what? They know when they first meet you. They can feel your energy. They can know you coming from a good place.
Yep.
When they know you ain't coming from a good place, guess what they finna do? Go hamburger on you. And I done seen it happen. And they are strong as hell. They will fight a bull. Do you hear me? That's how strong they is. So yes, I do understand a little bit of that when it comes to like the autism, like that. You have to be structured when everything you were saying, NYW, the structure, all that stuff. That took me back to when I was working in it. Now I ain't gonna lie, when I left it, when I stopped doing it, that was the hardest thing ever, because when you become attached and you see these people all the time, they become a part of you. They like your family because you done took care of them. And then when one passed away or got sick, you know, especially with this COVID, ain't no way I could do that. My little heart, I just jump in the grave with them if something happened. You know what I'm saying? Because my little heart ain't gonna take that when I've been used to being around them and doing stuff with them, you know. And then the family, then sometimes the family decide to come get them, even when they will come get them for the holidays. That sometimes mess with me, like, oh, because I'm so used to seeing them, you know, and being with them, you know. Sometimes the family, when they, like you said, put them in those facilities, sometimes they do forget about them. They may call, but they never show up. And I think that is so heartbreaking. That they should make it a law to come see them.
Exactly. And they take it a whole different way and a whole nother level, you know. And like I said, I can't say, oh yeah, me and my sister had to talk in code, Shay, because that he loved his auntie. All right. And if she said she was coming and something came up, oh my, Shay, I'm not playing. It was bad. And, you know, where's aunt? I mean, he be at the doors. Where's auntie? Where's auntie? You know, mommy, auntie said it's 2:00. Where's auntie? You know, stuff like that. Or don't be late. You said you're going to be here at 2:59, not 3:00. You understand? That's how he would watch the time. He's very sensitive to what time it is, when we're supposed to be doing something. Like I was like, oh no, it's movie night. Remember, you guys? And I said it was movie night, and I got on live. Girl,
I remember that. Yeah,
I said, oh shit, it's movie night. Bye. So yeah,
Yep. You can't switch it. You can't switch it up. If you switch it up, you finna deal with a lot of you throw them. I'ma just say that. You throw them when you switch stuff up. You know, and that's when I used to try to tell my supervisor, like, I'd be like, okay, she lived around the corner, because all the houses was like in a cul-de-sac. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was just mostly us, the employees, and you know, coming in, or you know, we going to the store and stuff like that. Because again, these are like 5-bedroom flat houses, you know, 4 and 5 bedroom houses. It wasn't an actual facility that they have here. I hadn't seen one since the 10 years I've been out here. I hadn't seen one. All the houses, all the places are houses.
That's really good. I like that setup. I mean, I feel for, you know, I pray as we see how he develops, you know, because I feel, my personal opinion, that you guys are talking about that woman. Her name is Holly. Good night. I had her name, where her son was autistic, and how Holly Robinson. Okay.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like,
Holly Robinson Pete.
yeah, I feel like I can go that path with Jeremiah, and eventually he'll outgrow it. It's not that it's
That's
gone,
a
but he
beautiful
is
story
functional.
too. Oh my
You
God.
know,
Yeah.
it is a beautiful story, you know. But if you got it's a lot of details, a lot of work. And you know, I want to say, for those that play spades, I call it reneging. Do not renege on Jeremiah. Okay, so,
Yes. No
all hell gonna
reneging.
break loose.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't even want to
Absolutely.
teach him how to play spades. So yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
it's just, I want to go that path with him, and I feel like it's possible, and I feel like we've come so far, but there's still so much we have to do, you know, and people don't realize how much work has been put into where Jeremiah is at this time. And then thank God for insurance, because I think I spent well over hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, it's a little bit pricey. I think what
Yes.
they do need to make it a little bit more. I do like the way Holly Robinson Pete deal with her son. I don't know if y'all seen the episode when the son did something, and she talked to him and she was asking him. It was just so sad the way he was explaining it. Oh God, I was like, oh my God, my stomach can't take it. I can't take it. Yeah, it was. I think I seen it on Twitter. No, I seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, the people were picking at him, and he didn't understand why.
Yeah, and he was trying to be their friend.
Oh my
And
God, don't get me crying, Shay, because the same
Okay,
thing
I ain't gonna
happened to
do it.
Jeremiah.
I ain't gonna do it in NYW.
I was ready to beat somebody down with a baseball bat. Let me tell you this story. Okay. Jeremiah wanted to be friends so bad, you know, he was functional enough, but he doesn't have the social, you know, skills with children whatsoever. I'm telling you right now, but the only reason why he, within my family, everyone knows, everybody's on the same page. And so they'd be like, okay, Jeremiah, but you know, kids are kids and they'll get in their mess, but children outside the home don't understand. And I don't think I think it's a little weird if I go to across the neighbor, I can't stand my neighbors anyway, but go across the street and say, you know, hey, could you be more accommodating towards my son? No, we don't need that speech. But I had to, I call it, you know, experiment and see, even to this day, Jeremiah don't go outside by himself, okay, whatsoever. So if Jeremiah go out, I go out. It's not helicopter momming or anything. It is because I got to watch the interactions he has with other children, because he doesn't know how to react to some of the things they're doing. So he was trying so hard to be friends with the neighbors, and we even invited over some of them little badass kids to my house for his birthday party, gave him a little present, you know, trying to socialize, you know, and get him, you know, used to, he was so happy he had a birthday party other than his immediate family. So, you know, I was getting a little bit more comfortable, but I was always outside. And there was one neighbor that was kind of offset because my garage kind of goes out, so I couldn't see it. And then all of a sudden I'm hearing Jeremiah crying, and I turn around the corner, and this girl is screaming to the top of her lungs, saying, you know, effing get away from me. I'm gonna beat you up with a baseball bat. Get the F away from me. Now get this. That was a badass child. But guess who was behind the daughter laughing? Her grown ass mama. Okay. I was like, I said, okay, ladies, this is what happened. Okay. I said, Jeremiah, get over here.
Lord, it got hot in here.
Hurt
I ain't lying.
He was trying so hard. And what I noticed also with the behaviors as I was watching him, they would be mean to him and he didn't understand. Remember I said he don't know his height, even though he literally saw it. Do you get what I'm saying? So they would tell him to do stuff, and he wanted to be friends with them so bad he would do stuff, and they would be praying planks on him. He didn't understand it, but I saw it, you know, and I was like, no, Jeremiah. And he would have fits because he's like, these are my friends. And it took me almost a year to explain to him, you guys, I'm serious. A year, these people are not your friends. He knows the meaning of nice, nasty now, how to identify it, just, you know, walk away and all this. So the girl did that. And I went up to the girl because the mom ran aside because she was scary like that. Trust me. And that's a whole nother story. And left her out there. Oh no, these mofos, they left the neighborhood, but they were this child. This is sad because they did that to my child, but I feel more sorry for her because she was 13 years old, still in the damn 5th grade. So yes.
Oh God.
It was something wrong with the parents.
So something was wrong with the parents, and children try to be accepted or feel accepted. So it was this behemoth about as tall as me. I'm like 5'6". Okay. And my son, he's just only 4'7" right now. So imagine how small he was a few years ago. So
technically that's not really small, okay?
Oh, you're funny. You're
small, actually. He's actually tall.
You're funny. But okay, so call me wrong. So I didn't say nothing, but I got him away from the situation. I was angry. I got him calmed down. And then he tried again. He unsucked out the house and he went over there and they were treating him really bad. And the girl threatened him again to beat him down with a baseball bat. And I went across the street and I said, when you're ready to beat somebody down with a baseball bat, you come to my house, knock on the door. Okay. And that caused an uproar in the actual neighborhood because everybody allowed their children. You can't tell me just because he's autistic, it's okay to talk to people like that and threaten lives. Okay. I don't care. That's a threat to me. All right.
Absolutely.
And I know you wasn't in the hood in the YW. I know just this conversation. I knew it wasn't in the hood.
No,
honey, we would have had. You say you got a lot of siblings. Look, I would have been directing our whole conversation to Mama. We would have been at the door. I would have been looking her up and down. It would have been a whole different Nadia. I would have had a whole conversation with her. You're gonna come off that porch.
Long story short, they already know not to come to my door. They already know not to talk to my son. I don't care what the hell you think. It's special circumstances. And I wish you would. And every time that woman see me, she go run into her house to then make out.
She need to.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally ran in the house. When I saw her, she was right there cracking up. So then what she did try to do one time, and I was in uniform. This was funny because what she did, she would, because I always saw her from the distance. Because remember, her child came to my house. Okay. Right. I never really saw her in the face. So we'd be grocery shopping and she'd be like, hey, Jeremiah. And the teachers in the school, because it's just not one teacher would always say hi to Jeremiah and they would introduce himself. But she'd be like, hey, Jeremiah, hey, Jeremiah. And I'd be like, who is this woman? And I'd be like, Jeremiah, who is this? He was like, finally, because he would just always speak and say hi. Okay, remember? And I'm like, who's this woman? She don't acknowledge me or anything, right? And so she said, he goes, that's the girl, Mom, And I was like, are you serious? So she kept coming up to me in the grocery store. So one day I had Jeremiah in a basket and she came up to Jeremiah and I rolled up to her and I quietly came up to her ear and I said, if you don't fucking stop coming, up to my son, there's going to be a problem. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, if you do not stop. And she, I kept it. That's how you do. You don't need to yell.
I know that's
and I ain't never seen her since. And it just
she got that ghost whistle
real quick.
But the thing is, I realize it's off subject, but on subject. I realize this is where these behaviors come from. I'm not saying all, but if the mama was a bully, the child is a bully.
Exactly.
That's right. And all children do wrong, but as parents, you got to tell your child when your child is wrong.
That's right.
Thank you.
Don't allow it.
And I correct my son too, because he was picking up negative behaviors from these children as well. Oh, we got that all straight now.
Children are other children's greatest influences. So that's the word.
Right.
Yep. So he does not have the social skills, you guys, even to this day. He's much better, and he's just not going to sit there and jump off the cliff because he thinks he's friends, But that's where I'm at with Jeremiah, but I'm his biggest advocate. And I in general, I tell my son all this that he's 24 years old, just cuckoo, and I'll be there, so
Right.
Wow.
Okay, Mom. I know. I said, well, just let me know,
Right. Absolutely.
But don't mess with a child that don't know any better. But children are cruel, can be cruel.
Yeah.
Yes, they can.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to correct your own when you see them doing wrong.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And so that is a funny and not so funny story.
If your parents let them get away with it, then you need to step to the damn parent.
Right, because they're not going to do better if they don't know better.
That's right.
Mm-mm.
That's the thing. They think that's allowed.
What'd you say, Miss B-Town?
That is allowed behavior in a lot of homes.
Mm-hmm.
But realize that is the common denominator with so many issues today in the world. That simple. Starts at home.
Yeah, it does. I agree 100% because it's not I won some and I lost some. I mean, I've been through the regular world growing up, but I'd be damn skippy if we thought step to me before you step to my child, and he was getting double teamed by an adult and an adolescent. I said, what the? I ain't never seen that before.
Off of her, I would have had to get a lick off of her.
Hey,
I would have had.
She had to get a lick.
I had to feel her skin somehow, just somehow. I wouldn't.
I hear what you're saying, Miss B-Town, because what in my youth versus you got careers. Now, if something really, really went down, of course, there was not going to be no stopping. But you got it. I had to factor in my career, my child safety. He was freaking out. You get where I'm going? But I got you 100%. But bring your punk ass over here. No, you can't. Okay. And your daughter, be ready. Come on over with the baseball bat because I got a whole golf set and baseball bat with gloves.
Mm-hmm. My temperature rose when you said that.
Huh?
My temperature rose when you said that.
It does. It does get me crunk, you guys. I still get mad from that.
I'm gonna say this. I'd rather be with NYW than anybody else there because honey, guess what? She will fight.
Okay.
Okay. She ain't gonna leave you. She gonna swerve with you.
Well, she don't swing. D-Com gonna swing.
I know that's right.
Then we got Nadia behind her with the can.
I got the stock, honey. I got the stock. Can good.
Yeah.
Got the stock.
And I do not miss.
Quarters.
She said
Miss TR do the funeral arrangement, so all the people they just see. We need to get together to get them out for real.
This Miss TR, I told you guys to leave them alone. I told y'all. I can't see her while she does it, but I can just hear her now.
Look,
y'all, this is so off the subject here. But I was on Facebook. I was on Facebook yesterday, y'all. Now, I had an asthma attack yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I really couldn't I'm just kind of like getting over it now. Like, it's just, my ass been breathing treatment. I feel like I've been in a cotton field. My mouth is, from the breathing treatments and the flow vents and the Pro Air. Because I refuse to go up in that damn doctor's office. To the hospital. I ain't going.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to make it better, I got it. I got plenty of lemons in there, and I've been eating them motherfuckers. Okay.
I know that. Now, you feel better?
And it's been helping. Yeah, I feel better because at first I couldn't talk. Every time I talk or laugh,
energy when you come out of that.
Yeah, I was gonna work today, even though this was my off day. I was gonna work, but I was like, I can't do it. I can't. I said, I work Saturday. I work for y'all Saturday, but today I just can't. Now, with I saw this lady. This girl. I don't know what. I think they was in California. She pushed that woman into that damn. What was it? The shelf. It was because it looked like a Dollar Tree or a 99-cent store or something because of her uniform. And it was a black girl and it was a Mexican girl. The Mexican girl pushed the black girl in the shelf. When that black girl got her ass up and took them shoes off, I knew that Mexican girl finna get her ass mollywopped all across that floor. Because that's exactly what happened. She took her by her hair and it looked like she just flipped her with her hair, you know, like did a flip. And she beat the hell out that lady. She said because the girl spit on her. That's what it was. I don't know why the people like to spit on you.
Oh.
After she pushed her in the shelf, y'all, she spitted on her.
Oh, boy.
And guess what? The person that was recording this shit was instigating the whole goddamn thing. I said, I don't think that girl would have got her ass beat that bad if the person that was recording wasn't saying all the other stuff. Because that girl, I mean, she got beat so bad, the girl started crying.
You know, it's funny because you ever notice that when it be fights, think about back in the day, and it was always the instigator, Shay. She be talking mess. You know, while you in her space, you in your space. You see that she blew on you. Oh, she touched you. You know, and you the one getting your ass whooped right along with the girl that might be getting her ass whooped. But you know, there's always that one in the background, like they commentating at a fight instigator. You know, which it really does make a difference. You know, because a lot of times people just square up and like walk away. I'm just thinking back in the childhood. But, you know, there's somebody hyping you up and you got your hormones and your young mind going, you know, and that fight probably should have never even happened. But there's somebody in the background, but they don't got nothing to do when the crap really go down. I swear. Right. But it was funny because we went through growing up where we lived in New York. It was pretty rough, you guys. So it started out when my brother and my sister fighting. Then remember I tell you how the succession of events went as you thought, you know, you were not responsible for anything. But then my mom always told us, you know, stick together. So, you know, it wasn't that if somebody started a fight with my sisters, like individually, and they took care of it, it's fine. But we didn't believe in jumping on one person just to be a dick about it. You know what I mean? We kept it neutral. But if you were going to bring that smoke, then that's when it went down. So, you know, my sister, who's only 4'11", to the highest she's ever going to be, believe it or not, that one right there, oh my God, she on top of you, under you, wrapping around your legs, everything. It was so funny because people used to mess with my little sister. 4'11", that is a scrapper right there.
My mama is. I'm sorry. My mama 4'11". She, oh God, that lady.
Don't
see my mama.
Size.
Y'all, I promise you, I done seen my mama fight the police. I never seen her fight a man. And I told her, I said, you try that shit now, they gonna kill you. You try it now. I said, these police officers now, they trigger happy. The ones back in the day, they ain't trigger happy like that. They ain't, no, a lot of them ain't trigger happy. Not the old school police officers.
You're right about that.
These new ones, they trigger happy. They will shoot your ass in the blink of an eye. You sneeze too hard. You fart too hard. You finna get shot.
There was one time, Shay, when they're not together anymore, so don't think it. There's one time, my same sister, the 4'11" one, her boyfriend decided he wanted to put his hands on my sister and two of my sisters at the club. He never put his hands on her again. My sister stomped his ass. It was so funny. And he thought, you know, he went. That's so funny. My other sisters, I sit there, I twisted my leg, but they got him down, and he never did that again. Oh, it was triple team, So I guess he thought he was just going to do, and I wasn't there, but remember I said we learned how to stick together in like certain circumstances, But they came. He thought he was going to slap my sister around in front of the club. I don't know what was he on and drinking, but my other two sisters jumped his ass, and my other sister who he got on him. He never did it again. But it took three. It took three.
I promise y'all, that's what happened with my mama. She with her husband, they divorced now, but at the time, she put him they was dating. They weren't even married. She put his ass in a body cast, a full body cast. And now I'm grown now, so you get what I'm saying? I'm grown now. I'm kind of used to them fighting because she would always go to jail.
Down in the chat.
She would always go to jail, and he would always go to the hospital. So I guess the state of Tennessee said, we tired of his ass coming up in here. You get what I'm saying? He would always drop the charges. He would never, but the state of Tennessee said, the hell go with no. They picked them motherfucking charges up on my mama. They charged her with, what is it? Because he almost died from that.
Aggravated assault.
Yeah.
It was worse than aggravated assault. I mean, I know it's aggravated. Yeah, it's an aggravated because she used a weapon on his ass. Okay, y'all, let me tell you what she used. She had a bat, y'all. And it was taped up with gray tape. And I used to always ask, I was like, why the hell is she over there taping up that damn bat with gray tape? And she would only do it on the weekend. She would double it, like she would put like extra layers of gray tape on here.
So
I said, yeah, it was thick, yeah. So the bat wouldn't crack when she started whacking his ass with it. Okay. And I used to wonder why the hell she would always just sit there like on the weekends, because he done got paid. He finna go get loose. He finna go get drunk, and he gonna think he gonna come up in that house talking crazy to my mama. And see, my mama like to hit first and ask questions later. She always been that type. She'll hit your ass before you hit her. She ain't finna let you sneak up. Oh no. Oh no. My mama would hit your ass first. She just gonna get it over with. Fuck all that talking. Let's go on, just get down and dirty. I seen my mama. I ain't never seen my mom, y'all, fight a woman. So when I got like real grown and I could talk a little slick to her ass a little bit, but I make sure I could, because I could run. She couldn't. So hey, like I'm gonna take off running. I'm gonna pull one of my brother moves on her ass. I'm gonna run. Okay. I would ask her, I was like, Mom, why? Because we call her Granny. I was like, Granny, why would you always fight me? And I never saw you fight no woman. Oh, they want no challenge.
Damn.
That's what I said too. Damn. You need a challenge? Shit, if you need a challenge, let me put you in the ring with Mike Tyson ass then. Is that enough challenge for your ass? My sister just like, oh my gosh. Y'all, she called my sister. She told me the other day, she said, Shay, have you talked to your mean sister? Now, my mom is a Virgo, okay? So I hear my sister snapping her ass up, but I ain't say nothing because I already know. I said, I had to tell her, I said, my sister named Ashley. I said, Ashley, you got to, kind of like pipe down. We want her to let us in the goddamn house. We don't need you snapping her up. Snap her ass up when we get there. On the phone, we got to stroke her goddamn ego right now, or she ain't going to let our ass in, okay? I said, because I already told, I said, Mom, look, I'm coming next week. You better open that door because I got some shit being shipped to your goddamn house. She said, now, because she said, Lachey, you know I'm gonna open that door. I said, okay then. I'll kick that motherfucker in. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Decop, what is it called when they damn, what is that thing where they when they lock the doors and they put that, they got that metal thing that knock it down? What is that called?
Oh, that's called I can't think of the name. I know what you're talking about. To break in what SWAT use.
Yeah,
we call it battering ram.
Yeah, battering ram. That's it. Yeah. I told her I'm calling them people to come knock this goddamn door down. I'm telling you right now, Ma, I ain't coming way out there for nothing. You hear me? You don't open that damn door, it's gonna be trouble. She said that because she pissed off at my sister, so she may not let her ass in. And my sister keep talking about, Shay, won't you fly into Memphis? I don't know, nigga, because you done pissed Ma off. I think I better fly into Nashville. I don't want to smoke.
Your mom sounds like a real life Medea.
She is. We used to be so scared, y'all, when we was little, to tell her that somebody messing with us. Because she is going to fire their ass up like the 4th of July, period.
You know, Shay, we fought out of necessity. You know what I mean? Because I swear to God, I be minding my business and these hoes, be coming up out of nowhere. Okay? Nowhere. I be like, wasn't I just never talking to you, not knowing you from nowhere? And they just want to pick a fight. I had a lot of that growing up,
Yeah.
So, they wanted to test the G. And like, I won some and I lost some, but I learned how to fight. I tell you that because I was like, oh, And
I'll never forget, this little boy was so skinny. My brother was skinny, y'all. And this big ass boy was just slinging my brother like he was a sack of goddamn potatoes. When I saw his big ass, I beat the living shit out of him. Cause I ain't seen nothing else. I seen 50 demons then. I'm finna beat your ass, cause that's my brother, my only brother. And you ain't finna be slanging his ass around like no damn sack of potatoes. Now me, I was the fighter. I'm the fighter out of my sisters and brothers. Even when I went to my grandmother's house in the summertime, my cousins, I'm the fighter with my cousins. Now I got some younger cousins. One of them motherfuckers, child. I'd have passed the torch to them because my ass too old to fight now. But when I was little, they would tell me like, oh, she pulled my hair, or she spit on me, or she threw a rock at me. So I would go fight them because see, I lived in the projects. They didn't. So, when you live in the projects, you got to fight all your life. You got to fight the whole goddamn project to keep them from fucking with you.
Yep. That's what I wanted. You're right. So we come from New York already freaking fighting, but it wasn't that we were sitting there looking for a fight. So it just seemed like you just really surprised when somebody come at you, because you already got that fight or flight mentality. And, you want to fight, but people don't understand when you live in those type of neighborhoods / the project, it ain't, your freaking next door neighbor might get you. You don't know and who they are dealing with, or who might be a part of some gang or something like that. You don't know. And they going to test you. Oh, Shay, they going to test you.
Oh, yeah, they going to test you.
So, they're going to test you. So it was sort of like, it's not the same, but I remember the Prince of Bel-Air, and when Will Smith came out of Philadelphia, that was us, but we weren't rich, but we were just kind of in culture shock because it was not, that constant, my brother had to fight his way from school and back, stuff like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous, what you would, as some children have to experience. So we got up out of that, but then, what, we had to do it California style, and people wanted to act stupid because we really did mind our business,
Right.
So that's what I mean by that, but I got you.
Yeah. And it was like, every year, and now they so sedated, child. Honey, they ain't gonna, girl, if you even if you brushed up against them, honey, they'll cry. I said, child, these folks, and like when I go around them, should they act like they hell better than me? I'm like, what the hell? But they was the ones that wouldn't fight. They just wasn't fighters like that. See, me, we had to fight in the projects. Your ass gonna fight or you gonna get the shit beat out of you. Period. It's gonna be me or you. It's gonna be me or you. So that's how it was, because they didn't grow up in the projects. They didn't know anything about the projects, but we did. We actually did. So I did, and then even Lord, I have to really pray when I go around my cousin's wife. Yeah, she give me drag queen teas. Okay, and
that is funny.
Yes, girl, let me tell y'all what she did. She used to always throw shade at my cousin, which is her sister-in-law, right? She got 5 kids with my cousin. Her sister-in-law, which is my cousin, only got 1. Her daughter grown. Her daughter just graduated with a master's degree in she's an RN. She's a registered nurse. Her daughter just graduated college. So this particular time, y'all, my grandmother had passed away. And my grandmother didn't care for her really. And she used to always try to ask me questions. I said, look here, girl. I had to because I was tired. I was jet lagged and everything. Okay, y'all? Because when my Aunt Faye hit the floor, I did too, And because I sleep real light. So she was like, do you remember your grandmama doing this? I said, girl, you're going to have to ask your husband because I don't know. Only thing, when I came around, that lady was old as hell. That's all I know. Now, y'all, I had been chewing on an edible at that time. Because I had to do something to calm my nerves because my Aunt Faye didn't smoke weed. So, those bougie bitches didn't smoke weed either. So I had some edibles in my suitcase. Child, I said, let me go on and chew on these edibles. Because, see, I see this chick here finna ask me 1,000,001 goddamn questions. And I understood, my cousin was like, well, Shay, she trying to be nice to you. I said, I understand. But see, her energy already rubbed me the wrong way years ago. Because she was like this court gesture that would jump up in your face like, you see me? Do you see me? Hey, I'm here. Hello. That's how she was. Like, bitch, with your bald headed ass, we see you. Because her hair cut down. So we were like, we see you. Because her hair was clean. D-Cop hair was longer than hers. Like right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. When she would get pregnant, I think she would lose her hair. I ain't never heard no shit like that. But hey, different stuff, come out all the time about folk. But every time she would get pregnant, she would lose her hair. I said, that's a bad curse to be bald and pregnant at the same damn time. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And then she looked like she didn't look cute with it. She didn't look pretty with it. Like some people look really like a short haircut really fits them. Now when their head got all them hills and mountains between them, oh no, baby. I said, child, they must have forgot to rub that dome when she was a baby. You know how they said rub the head to shape it when they little? Shake that boy head. That boy head look like a cone.
That's funny, Shay. Everybody don't got them type of heads. You got it.
I'm trying to tell you.
Certain people. You're right. So you made the picture in my head is making me laugh.
Girl, laugh, because when I seen her ass, I had to do a double take. And I had to go ask my cousin, which is her sister-in-law, who that is, because I didn't even know who she was. Last time I seen you, she had hair. What the fuck happened? And that's when my cousin was like, every time she get pregnant, she loses her hair. I said, wow. And then she had just had her baby. I think he probably 10 years old now. But and I hate to say this, I know I'm going to hell in a handbasket with a nice pink bow on it, okay? My cousin was like, because I laughed. I did laugh because if I didn't know what the hell she was talking about, okay? My cousin said, Shay, now we drinking. We at a family function, we drinking, and we just standing there, we sitting there looking at everybody. She said, don't that boy look like Benjamin Buttons? I said, who the fuck is Benjamin Buttons? She said, you know the movie Benjamin Buttons, right? The baby that came out looking old, and then once he got older, he started to look younger. So right to this day, y'all, I can't even watch that damn movie. I can't even look at the movie. I said, now that's your nephew. So you saying the boy is cursed? Because he did look old. He looked it old. That baby had wrinkles in his face. When he was a newborn, that boy was wrinkled. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, my family. I can't wait till I see them too. Even though my cousin, which is her son, he's having a baby, so they getting ready to do a baby. They doing a virtual baby shower. So I swing my gift through there to them while I'm there. But yeah, that boy did look. But he is so pretty now. He's so handsome. Oh my God.
I said baby shower days are over for me.
Yeah, ain't no baby. No, my brother is the last one that had it. His baby girl is the last one. Cause I got this all three of her kids grown, huh?
I got this theory, Shay. You have the first one, but we down. Let's do it. Okay. Second one, I might side eye you. The third one, don't look my way. I am so sorry. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. By number 3, you ain't got it down. Don't come looking over here. I am so sorry.
I ain't got nothing for you, player. No, ma'am. So yeah, my family is one of them crazy families, honey. And I used to have an uncle that played rock and roll music. That's all he liked. He liked that grunge, heavy metal music. And when he touched the radio, everybody get the hell up and get gone. Because we don't want to hear that shit. That's why because I know a lot of DJs, I bring the entertainment and the liquor. I ain't doing no cooking because there's too many of us. I can't do it. I ain't got that kind of time. I tell you, I bring you some spirits, some good liquor, and some good beer, because I had a hookup at the Budweiser plant, and I would go get I would get 5 30-packs of Budweiser and a 5 30-packs of Bud Light, because you're gonna pick your. Yeah, I would get that. That would cost me $100 on the street. So yeah. So yeah, I think Miss B-Town said her phone, y'all, she having a thunderstorm.
I don't know. Okay. I was wondering how she get kicked off. She don't got kicked off the chat. Is she in the chat? Or she? Or she can't get it. She can't get in the chat either. Oh, Shay gone.
Really? Let me see. Yeah, Shay went too. Okay. But we kind of got sidetracked, but I'm okay with that because that was not a cool moment in my life. And somebody think they're gonna sit there and mess with my son, and let alone my autistic son. So it's going down. So that was that. And they don't put they 2 feet and 10 toes on my welcome mat. They know better now.
Yeah.
But overall, he's a real sweet child. What you hear from him, that is the norm with me. He's comfortable with me. You see what I'm saying? And it's something about your voice, D-Cop. I don't know. You still bring the boys to the yard because I don't get where between him and Nehemiah, they be like, D-Cop. I mean, just stop, drop, and roll reaction. I'll be like, okay, that's why I got the headphones on. I hope you guys know.
Oh God. I gotta put the earbuds in.
They love them some D-Cop.
So, oh my goodness. Got me some little boyfriends. Uh-huh.
I know. It's just I think it's really sweet. It's so cute. Hey, Miss D-Cop. That's my son. Do you see me? That's how I hear it. Hey.
Got some Oreos? I like Oreos.
When he likes somebody, this is how I know it's official. He don't care. He'll say, I like your hair. So yeah. When he say that, it's confirmed, girl. It's confirmed.
I like your hair.
I like your hair. You know, that's when I know he like a girl. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Hey, now. So, yeah,
I know. That's what, yeah, he heard the oils. I was like, no. Yeah, Nadia. If he compliments your hair, he likes you. Okay.
I brushed it just for you.
I know. Yeah, I'm serious. He that's his thing, his hair. I'd be like, okay. So, like I said, the oil, like that's just like it's just, if you're trying to go to the next level, you know, just bust out the Oreos and some chocolate, and it's going down, you know. So it was cute. I said, you know what? I don't even have the energy tonight. He got that bag of Oreos. So. Right? Sincerely, he know already, but he ain't sharing the cake because that took him off guard. That she knew, like, you know about the cake. You should have seen the look on his face. I cannot express how he looked when Jeremiah is surprised. You know, somehow people have this expression. Jeremiah's surprise is looking like he looking off. His surprise is just, and that's how he was looking. He was just like looking straight out into a void. That's Jeremiah's surprise. It's something weird. Like when we react like surprise, our body startled, Jeremiah just stares off into space. So he was like looking like she know about the cake, you know?
Jeremiah trying to think of what she gonna share. It's gonna be enough.
I know.
Am I gonna get
every section of the cake quadrant, what millimeter has been cut off, okay?
Yeah, you got quiet. Like, I'm not gonna be friends with her or not. She gonna try to step in and take over my cake.
I know, but he's gotten better where he'll have like a whole thing of strawberries to himself. Remember, I'm telling you, he saved me 3 strawberries and somehow I made this cake. So, I didn't say I gave him the strawberries to himself. He took it upon himself. And so it's not real, but I'm like, if you touch this, what does this mean? He said, it's my life. I said, I know, it's my life, but it don't matter because it's still gone. And he'd be like, I'm sorry, mommy, I ate the strawberries, I already know they're gonna be gone, but you can't store strawberries like you might be able to put some onions away, or you know what I mean. So I gotta refrigerate them. So I just be like, at what time of night he got up at dark 30, crack of dawn, and already had breakfast, and he had all the strawberry, all the fruit, all the grapes, all the raspberries, all of it. But I'll tell you this, you guys. I really can only stress not to feed them junk, really try to give them vitamin packed nutrients, antioxidant type foods, because, it does something to them. It's like an average child, they'll have like that sugar high or whatever, but it actually is more negative towards a child, especially with autism, and ADHD. So, I try to feed him. So it's really a special treat if I'm making a cake or, like we say, the Oreos or something like that, but he'll go off with melons, cut up melons for dessert normally, or some fruit. But I really made sure, but this was me prior to knowing everything. My mom, she worked hard and she got it to us even when we were in food deserts. That's why I stress that. But we always had, she made us eat our vegetables, and, it just passes on. So I always had, not overcooked vegetables. He'll eat raw tomatoes, and he'll eat peas, and he'll eat broccoli and string beans and spinach and greens and all that. We do all that. Plus fruit is, like I said, is that natural sweetener coming through. Now you can overdo it with fruit, but, I'd rather him have the non-processed than, all that corn syrup, all that bad stuff. But it's like a super treat when he gets like the Oreos, or I'll bust out and make a cake or something like that. So that's what that's about, you guys. So I remember when I was going to the school, and what do you feed? I mean, they were accusing me like I was giving them pizza every day. And I was like, oh, no. I already know. But you got to see, everybody don't know about proper nutrition. So I guess they were going to go through their gamut of what they could tell me that I was doing wrong. And I was like, nope, you got the wrong one. That's not it. No. So, it works out. So he's very, he has, he gets a continental breakfast. Every once in a while I'll make him some eggs or sausage, but he really likes yogurt and fruit and granola, cereals, things like that. And then he'll start his day like that. And he has to have his snacks, and he needs to have his juicy snacks because his medicine gives him dry mouth. So he's like, Mommy, I want juicy snacks. Okay. So he'll get like we say melon or something. And I don't do much on sodas, but the only soda I do drink is Canada Dry. I don't know. It's something about Canada Dry that I like. And then I try to make them smoothies. And yeah, Canada Dry is good. I try to make them smoothies and things like that. And that's why I said this is really affected. I can't go get my fresh produce like I used to, that I would go shopping every few days because everything was like super fresh in the house. And then I make a lot of stuff from scratch. So is he spoiled? Yeah, but I feel like he's spoiled in the right way. That's why I kind of feel sorry for when he finally gets into adulthood, and God willing, when he's in a relationship, they better be on point, because this is what he's used to. Yeah, Nadia, he was eating vegetables. I mean, I was making, like, when I could, because I had to make them in batches because I didn't have time. I wasn't a stay-at-home mom, so I would make his own baby food, and it was just something I did. You know, like I said, I found out later on around the age around 3. It's something that magical number of 3, what was going on, trying to figure out what was going on with Jeremiah, you know. But for foods and stuff, you know, Nadia, he'll come to your house and become a vegan, you know, because it's not new for him to be introduced to vegetables. So if you make it taste the way he think he should taste it, that's the trick, you know. Oh, you guys, you know what's really funny? He loved him some Gordon Ramsay. OMG. I ain't never seen nothing like it. And you better be cooking. If Gordon Ramsay did not approve the food, you in trouble. So you gotta put in Gordon Ramsay approved the food, and you gotta tell him when you have him for dinner. So if we're having if I'm having just spaghetti with meat sauce and some French bread and maybe some broccoli, I gotta say we're having spaghetti with bolognese sauce with crostini bread and a steamed broccoli. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Because he like Gordon Ramsay, so you can't be like, we have a spaghetti. No. You gotta make it seem like you a waiter, a waitress at the house. Okay, it's kind of fun.
Oh God.
Yeah, so what you said, Nadia, fresh fruit and granola, chia flax, he'd be like, oh yeah, really? Yup, let's do it. Yup, Gordon Ramsay approved, you know.
Oh Lord.
Especially if it's something new, you know. So if he hasn't identified that, I have not introduced that, you know, he'd be like, what are you giving me? So it's funny that she said that. So I do oatmeal with the flaxseed. So that's not new, you know, keep him regular. But because his metabolism is so fast, you guys, I think him and Nadia got something very, very much in common. All right. He'll eat something and he already gone to the bathroom. It's just that quick, you know. So it's like constantly, it's like, I swear this boy, on an average, not because of the COVID, I'm probably spending like $200 a week just on food between me and Jeremiah, just because that's how much he eats.
But you feed him good though.
Thank you, Miss B-Town, but it's work. That's just one aspect.
Right.
You know, I'll admit I might be a little foodie myself, you know, but when he's taking all this medication too, you want to have the best diet. Well, because this medication can also stunt their growth. So you want to have vitamin packed nutrients, and then also it's an appetite suppressant as well. So you want to get as much calories going through. That's my thought, and that is what I've done. You know, before. So he takes a vitamin, and he's taking vitamin D as well for calcium, but he's also getting food in there like the natural way, because this medicine, because of the condition, can stunt his growth. So you got to be careful. So I don't want to just, like I said, there's some parents, they don't want to deal with their children and they just over medicate them and they don't do nothing. You know, so it's one of the other things. And yeah, Nadia, he has a fancy palate. Oh, thank you, Nadia. I appreciate that. So we make it fun. You know, and it better be Gordon Ramsay approved. It's so funny. Or before this whole COVID thing, we were going to find the best barbecue place around. Believe it or not, you know, but I had to get the official list of the best barbecue place and run it by him. Okay. And we want to go find the best barbecue, but I'm not going to nobody barbecue and trying to find out. So yeah.
He talked, look, not even talking about yes, because we are tall and growing. You're growing tall, Dave.
Oh Lord.
You're a giant green giant now, so you're not growing anymore.
That is so funny. But, you know, that's pretty much it, you guys, you know, and it's just a continuous thing. And if anybody does have any questions, you know, I'm willing to answer them. You know, maybe there's some things that I do that can help others, you know,
right.
Because for the longest, there was no one else around that was going through the same issues as me. And I thought, it seemed like you're all alone in trying to make people understand. But I don't, to a certain extent, like with the teachers or people I feel like are being genuine, I might explain it. But when I see some ignoramus, I don't even bother. They're going to get the resting bitch face from me. I don't got time for your foolishness,
Right.
But, that's all I got.
Okay, there's no more questions. We're going to thank NYW for coming and telling us and discussing what it's really like versus us trying to read it out of a book and know two people are exactly alike. I thank Miss TR for coming to tell about her grandson. Hey, Jeremy. Look, Tonto, hey, everyone. Where you been hanging out here tonight?
Hey, Jeremy.
Just sliding. We wrapping up. You sliding in. So NYW told us in the beginning she was tired. I was gonna hold you no longer than 9:30. That was my limit. 9:30, you were going strong. I was like, okay, well, I'll let her be.
Well, sometimes how we get off subject, and it'll be fun and funny.
Somebody and I was just talking about that. Sometimes you be dreading doing something.
Thank you, Nadia.
Weird. But then when you actually get there or you actually start doing it, you're like, okay, it's not as bad once you get past the dread part.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
It can be like that, I mean, I look at it like this, it can be trying on me, but I wasn't given nothing more than I can't handle,
Right.
So I think, my first son was a trial just for children, period. Uh-oh. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm cooking chicken wings. I should not be cooking chicken wings right now. But
get out in this windstorm and land over there on chicken wings.
I'm sorry.
That chicken sound good.
Yeah, I was like, okay, let me cook these wings. I had like a few pieces I need to cook because I don't want it to go bad. But
Tell Jeremy
like,
I'll be over there with chicken. Tell Jeremy
that's funny.
There she goes.
Jeremiah.
Hey.
Miss D Cop said she gonna come over and get some chicken.
Okay.
He said okay.
Said no. You'll make sure to get the things going to the yard tonight.
Now you gonna be
what's up, bro?
I'm waiting for the hairstyle. Uh-oh.
Now he gonna be looking for me now. I thought Miss D Cop was coming.
Where you coming from, Fred? What you getting into? They actually did, Nadia. You're right. It shed light on a topic that I wasn't
Thank you, Nadia.
very familiar with. And it's just something that I just didn't need to come out of a textbook or anything, as my grandma would say. First-hand experience is better. Yeah. If there is no more questions.
No. Yeah, like I have questions for myself. That's funny.
You got questions for yourself. Okay.
I know. I was like, no, I don't have any questions. I know. See, I'm tired. Yeah, I might. Yeah. I'm tired. I'm really on a slow mode trip right now. I think I'm gonna eat this. And I'm gonna go to sleep after this, you guys.
Oh, okay. You just dipping and dipping. Oh Lord, and never slipping. I know that's right. I know that is right. Look, Nadia said that's some hot ass grease.
I know. Okay, so what happened was the other chicken
frying.
the other chicken cooked right, but the grease was already heated up to a higher temperature because the other one's fine. But I took it out the bag and put it in directly. I guess it was a little moist, and that's when it just flared up. You know, when a little water gets in there. But it went back to normal now because all this time you guys hadn't heard me cooking. So I was like, dang it. So.
Yep. Heard that chicken grease. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby, get in the wing. Your mind might not be hearing that either.
He likes wings. He'll eat wings, you know. Actually, he eats everything I cook. But the only thing he won't eat is raisins. He doesn't like it, but only in raisin bread. So
wow. I feel sorry for the woman that gets him.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel sorry for her.
You better be able to throw down.
I'm serious.
He will tell you.
I'm serious. Lord.
Funny little child. He's funny. He makes me laugh. But you got to understand, I can't always let him know that I'm laughing. So I kind of have to laugh inside too.
All right, guys. It is so storming bad here. We actually was at 2 a.m.
Oh, last night.
Yeah.
Oh, you get popped?
We've been having them bad for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. But that's normal.
No, I didn't realize that it was 2 o'clock in the morning for you.
No, it's just 11 for me.
Oh, 11 o'clock. Okay.
11:24.
Well, you said that was 2 o'clock. I was like 2 o'clock.
I know. Man, I think I'm here.
Maybe.
Actually, you know, well, me and Nadia have the same time.
I think my internal clock is off. So, it's just yes, I've been like up.
You've been trying to stay up at night like me.
Well, I've been staying. Because of the COVID, I've been staying up till 12. But on a real night, you know, what's late for me is like 10 o'clock, 9:30. You know, but you know, I've kind of adjusted to that. But lately, you know, there's been some stuff going on with my work, and there's some personal family stuff going on, and so I've been kind of burning. Even though I'm not running around physically, I've been burning the candle at both ends. Right. I know, so. That's kind of why I'm tired, but I also realize that I personally have not eaten anything, and so I better stop doing that.
You might want to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this world, you guys, you know, and I definitely, you know, treasure your family, treasure them, you know, and don't, you know, while you have your folks with you, don't, you know, I don't care what's going on. Tell them that you love them. You know, you may not agree with everything, but let them know that they're loved, you know?
That's right. That's the main thing. No family's gonna get along all the time. Mm-hmm. That's just no family's gonna do that. And then if anybody think they family do it, they tell a lie. I'll be the first time you're lying. You're lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they lying or they not human.
Yeah, something. Yeah, you know, there's no cookie cutter family. It really isn't. But you know, let your loved ones know. And you know, it's just a lot of stuff going on, you guys.
All right, guys. Again, we thank you, NYW.
You're welcome.
Thank everybody for hanging with me and rocking out. Look.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome.
And we do the wild back on. It's back on you tomorrow night, right, Because
yeah. Ness is gonna come back on.
At what time?
It's 5:30, whatever time zone she's in, but it's 6:30 Central Time.
She's Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, okay. She's gonna do the Q&A for all the questions that she missed.
Oh, okay.
for all the people that had questions and she didn't get the answer. So she's gonna come back and do that tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
All right, ladies.
Okay.
I'm gonna get off.
All right. I'll talk to you
Okay.
later.
More than welcome. Good
All
night,
right.
everyone.
Thank you. All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.